for WWE Smackdown. This is the go-home show for WrestleMania, and there's not a great deal to talk about, in all fairness. We don't actually know what we're getting, which is a little bit strange, I'm not going to lie. Would have liked to have had a bit of an idea as to what we were going to see tonight, but segments keep changing. There's been a few different previews that I've seen that say like a few different things, and to be honest, I think we're at the point where I don't think people really know what we're getting. If we go over to Wrestle Inc., they are saying tonight John Cena responds to Bray Wyatt. We're definitely getting that. Of course, Bray Wyatt has challenged John Cena to a Firefly Funhouse match. They've even made merch and stuff like this, so it's going to be accepted. Obviously we've got to wait for his response. So that's definitely tonight. Other than that, we've got the Usos and the New Day stop by Miz TV. So there's a lot of confusion around this match because, of course, the Miz is ill or was ill. So it doesn't seem like the Miz is going to be competing at WrestleMania. But there's been nothing to kind of say that or change directions or anything. So I don't know if that's going to happen tonight. And obviously we haven't heard anything about Roman. We know that Roman is out of WrestleMania. That's not a spoiler. Roman himself has actually posted a video of him saying the exact same thing. Posted a video of him talking about, you can't believe... What was it he said? He said that he gets grief and he has haters whenever he's at WrestleMania. And now he's being called a coward because he's out of WrestleMania. So Roman not hiding from the fact that he won't be at WrestleMania. But they haven't written him off yet. So we're still waiting to see how that's going to happen. So yeah, no news in regards to Roman. The only two segments that are being advertised, and as I said, there was a Roman Goldberg confrontation that was advertised, but that seemingly has been pulled now. I'm just having a look actually to see if there is any information on the channel, on their Twitter account, but I can't see anything. No, I can't see anything. So, don't know. Look, we're just gonna have to wait and see. How much does it not feel like WrestleMania season? How much does it not feel like that at all? Like, I cannot believe that WrestleMania is tomorrow. It just... Crazy. Daze, do you think that Bray rebuilt the spirit of Sister Abigail and that's what the cabin is? What? What? I don't even know what that means. Daze, do you like Biker Undertaker or Dead Man Undertaker? I prefer Dead Man Undertaker. Just going back to that Abigail question, I'm guessing you're talking about the images that were tweeted out. There's an image that seems to have a female face in a cabin. I don't know that Bray has rebuilt this cabin, or I don't know to be honest. I mean, we'll have to wait and see what the Firefly Funhouse is and match is. We've done a video on it, but I don't like it when it gets too weird like that, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like, has he rebuilt the cabin to capture the spirit of Sister? Do you know what I mean? Like, after a while, it all just becomes words. So, all I'll say is, perhaps that's where the Funhouse is. That's what the cabin is. Maybe the face that's in there is, just a little tease. It's just to build excitement. We're just going to have to wait and see. There's literally, we could spend a good 3 hours kind of going through lots of theories about that match. I put all my thoughts, and nothing has changed. I put all of my thoughts into that video that we did not that long ago. Very, very excited for that match. That's probably the match I'm most hyped for. And then, of course, Edge and Orton. And I think there's about 3 matches. Undertaker, AJ, Cena versus Bray Wyatt, Edge versus Orton. Those are the 3 that I'm really looking forward to. But yeah, we are going to start just whilst we're on the subject, because we've got so much to go through. Even though there's not much of a preview tonight for SmackDown, we've still got a lot to go through. We are going to start 5 Eastern tomorrow. That is an hour before the kickoff show. So we start at 5, and in all fairness, you might want to be around a little bit before, because if we start 15 minutes, even half an hour before that, I won't be surprised. So 5 latest, let's put it that way. So we're going to be starting. All we're doing is chatting, answering questions, talking about the latest news, just getting hyped, getting ready for WrestleMania. So we've got all of that from 5. Then at 6, we'll be doing the watch-along for the kickoff show. Then at 7, WrestleMania starts. All of this, obviously, is Eastern times. Add 5 hours for UK. So our show will be starting at 10 at night in the UK. Kickoff show at 11. And WrestleMania at midnight. So I've left it up there so people can see. I'd love if you were able to join us, even if it was just for that preview, because it's always great to kind of bring in different thoughts and, the rumours and all that kind of stuff. So, it'd be cool if you could, hang with us, hang out. But if you can't and you want to go and watch WrestleMania on your own, that's obviously absolutely fine. But we will be doing a decent show before, and I would say a decent show after as well. So lots going on. Joseph Lewis says, Days, it's my birthday today. It's the 4th. I am 16. Happy birthday to Joseph Lewis. I do remember you saying the other day, so happy birthday to you, my friend. Dan Daniels says, since Michelle McCool has been brought up in the rivalry, what if the unholy trinity was Taker and a returning LaCool? I mean, it doesn't work for me, because this threat is meant to neutralize Gallows and Anderson. So the reason he's talking about this unholy trinity is because he needs to deal with Gallows and Anderson. He's going into this not with his eyes closed. He knows that Gallows and Anderson are going to get involved in that match, so he needs something to take them out. I'm not sure LaCool are going to be able to do that. So I think I'm still sticking with Kane and Sting for that reason. The other theory is that the Unholy Trinity could all be within Undertaker. It could be Mark Calloway, Biker Undertaker, Dead Man Undertaker. So that could be the Unholy Trinity, but I don't know how all that is going to deal with Gallows and Anderson either. So I'm sticking with Kane and Sting. Jason Peace, shout out to you, my friend. Hope you are well. Jody Gilly says, Days, did you have a good nap? Do you know, no word of a lie, right? I've got, after SmackDown, we've got the Wrestling Escape Pod. So I was talking to the Insiders about this. The Insiders Wrestling Podcast are doing, that's our community podcast. They do a brand new episode after Raw. Raw is our biggest show of the week. Amazingly, more people tune into Raw than tune into SmackDown, and that shows in our streams as well. So they're going to be on after Raw, which is our biggest show. But I have got another project that I've actually been working on in the background for about 2 months. And that's going to launch tonight. Wrestling Escape Pod. So once we're finished here, join me over there. All you have to do is search Wrestling Escape Pod. There's only one video that's up. It's all about WrestleMania. We're going to go over there, but I'm not hosting that on my own, hence why it's taken a couple of months to get this sorted. And I'm really interested in your feedback. Very much like how we ask you guys to get in touch with the Insiders Wrestling Podcast so that we can make that what you want it to be. Very much want the same with this. So it looks like, I can't guarantee every single week, but it looks like there'll always be something for us to enjoy after Raw. and always something for us to enjoy after SmackDown. And at the moment, it's Insiders on a Monday and Wrestling Escape Pod on a Friday. Yeah, we'll kind of go through that a little bit later. Jody Gilly, Days, did you have a good nap? It was very quick. Let's put it that way. I think I've had, since yesterday's WrestleMania 17 stream, I've had about 3 hours sleep, and that's it. I was still awake a good 14 hours after that stream had finished. So, yeah, kind of feeling it a little bit, if I'm being honest. I've got coffee, though, so I'm going to drink this coffee. And I gotta be honest, I mean, like, the excitement of tonight still is WrestleMania Eve. So, happy WrestleMania Eve to everyone that's watching. So, yeah, I mean, I'm still pumped for tonight. I've got coffee. I'm going to be absolutely fine. You know, I'm not going to be falling asleep during this stream, but definitely on the agenda is a good night's sleep. So, we'll be watching this, then going straight over to the Wrestling Escape Pod, and then getting a good night's sleep. That's my plan, so that I can be tip-top for tomorrow. We missed you. Everyone loved the tease of the interview. Can't wait for the surprise after SmackDown. Shout out to Jody. Gilly. Yeah, I did get in touch with the Insiders just to let them know I wasn't going to be able to make that tease because I woke up about an hour ago. So I was probably waking up just as that tease was starting. Yeah, of course I'm going to be there tomorrow night. For those of you that don't know what we're referring to, Kyle Scarborough. Now, this is someone that Jody knows from the Firefly Funhouse fan group. And he is the person that's helped, like, design the Fiend mask and kind of played a big part with the Fiend character. He's helped Bray in the development of that. I think Bray had a lot of the ideas already, but, yeah, you know, he very much kind of helped bring some of those ideas to life. Well, the Insiders have got an interview. So, Joe, Jeff, Jody, all the J's, all the Triple J. That's what we've got there. We've got a Triple J, Joe, Jeff, Jody, the Unholy Trinity. They are interviewing Kyle Scarborough, and there was a little tease of that interview that's gone onto their channel. So, of course, I would urge that you check that out. But the full interview is tomorrow after WrestleMania, and this is huge. I have not heard him give another interview, so I don't. All I know is different people keep freaking out about it. So I keep seeing Jody freaking out about it. Then Jeff will drop me a message, or Joe will drop me a message. I just know this is unmissable. This is the dictionary definition of unmissable. And the full interview, I don't know what's said, right? I don't know if anything's revealed, but even just hearing about the process of how these things are created and what the briefs were, and, you know, there's so many things that I would love to ask him. We're going to find out tomorrow after WrestleMania. You know, like how WWE do, like, Stone Cold Broken Skull sessions after WrestleMania because it's such a big thing. It's like WrestleMania and then go to the network. We've got this for you. That's exactly what's going on here as well. So we've got the watch-alongs, and then afterwards, on a Monday, brand new Insiders. In fact, even before, we've got Jody with an Abby's window. So lots happening on the Insiders. Tonight, we've got the Wrestling Escape Pod. I will be in the chat for that. And as I said, I'm not hosting that alone. So we've got that. And then there is that big interview tomorrow. So, man, so much. Tristan Howes, hope you are well, my friend. Shout out to Tristan Howes. Thank you very much. Hope you are enjoying your WrestleMania Eve. And, of course, WrestleMania 36. Who knows how it's going to feel and if it's going to work. But we're going to find out very, very soon. D.H. says, how are we today, boys and girls? Shout out to D.H. Hope you're well, buddy. Thank you for joining us. William Hensey, hello mate, how are you? Holidays, I farted and I liked it. There we go, William Hensey. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. R. Kelly says, let's get a round of applause for the NHS, for all of the healthcare systems. Yeah, very much. I've got to be honest, I mean, there's been so much going on. I actually don't know the latest news. I would imagine the situation is continuing as it was, kind of getting worse on its normal path, but I actually for a couple of days now haven't got a clue about anything that's happening. So yeah, I do need to try and step out of WrestleMania mode a little bit, because obviously there are bigger things going on in the world, but yeah, I'm just not seeing them right now. William Hensey says, hey Sonny. So Sonny, hey, that's not from me, that's from William Hensey. Hey, Sonny. Ben the Tank says the Mystery of Wyndham would be cool, like an Undertaker's faction. Yeah, there's a lot of speculation around that, that it could be leading that way. I want to just make sure there's any super chats. Tristan Howe says, any idea what they're doing with Goldberg now? If it's a replacement, will they put the title on him or save Goldberg? Save Goldberg for Reigns? I'm going to wait for you. I love you. No, I think they're going to put it on the replacement. I don't know that they put it on the replacement. And actually, I've not seen... How great that I don't know any match results. Like, because this was taped, I was genuinely worried that spoilers would get out. I haven't seen any. And actually, if anything, I've even heard they've recorded alternative endings. So even if something does leak, you don't know that that's what they're going to show. So I think that's great. That's been a positive, definitely. But no, I don't know the actual result. I don't know which way it goes, but I think they will put the title on the replacement. That's my guess, because I just don't think the plan was for Goldberg to be sticking around. So I think that they might just pull the trigger. Plus, also, we don't know how long this is lasting for. So I think it probably makes more sense to just take it off Goldberg at this stage. Memnon says fist bump. So we've got a little emoji doing this, working out something I haven't done in... I couldn't tell you the last time I worked. Oh, it was the other day on a stream, when I lifted some weights about 5 times. That's literally the most exercise I've done in 2020. Did you hear that Dash Wilder's contract has ended? I haven't heard it's ended. I've heard it's going to end very soon. And is it Dawson's contract that's ended and Dash ends in a little while? Because they're not ending at the same time, are they? I think both their contracts end at different times. I mean, look, we're just not seeing them. They are AEW bound, aren't they? So, yeah. And so they should be. I think the way they've been treated has been awful since they got brought up to the main roster. WWE just don't know how to book a tag division. That's the truth. They don't care about tag teams. Tag teams in WWE are either the 1 or 2 teams that Vince likes at that moment in time, or throw in a load of single stars together just to get people on the show. That is tag team wrestling in WWE. Daniel Brotherton says, could Bray use JoJo? What, that little girl? And his kids in the cult. You mean JoJo, his wife? If they're married. I don't even know if they're married. I know they've got a kid together. This is like turning into Jerry Springer. No, I just don't think it is, to be honest. I think that it's going to be Kane and Sting. Now, I don't know that it is, but again, the reason why he was talking about this unholy trinity is because he needs to deal with the threat of Gallows and Anderson, and I don't think JoJo, Swale or Swahay or Swuha or kids are going to necessarily help deal with that. So no, I'd be leaning away from that. Nice thought, though, because it makes sense to kind of bring her in as a character and the kids that we've seen. So I do get where you're coming from, but I think he's trying to deal with the Gallows and Anderson threat. William Hensey says, LSW says he never sent a super chat. Thank you to William Hensey. Thank you, LSW, for never sending a super chat. So shout out to all of you. Days, I've thought about this. When Roman Reigns is pulled from Mania, what if night 1 Brock loses the title to Drew? Then night 2 Goldberg has an open challenge. And the winner comes out and they unify the titles. Yeah, I mean, not a bad idea at all. Not a bad idea at all. Joseph says, will we get the Fiend tonight? I think there's a good chance. That you get the Fiend. Reason why I'm saying that is because we've had John Cena and Funhouse Bray, but we've only once had John Cena and the Fiend, and that was at the start when he pointed at the sign. So I don't know. I mean, we know that this build is not where it should have been. We know that this build is just not what we would have got if the whole COVID-19 hadn't happened. So I kind of feel like there would have been a lot more brawls and interactions. This is their final opportunity to give us one of those. So, Gaming in Real Time as well, asking the same thing. Do you think we will see the Fiend tonight? I'm going to go with yes. This is their last opportunity to hype people, and people are certainly hyped about the Fiend. So, I can't see why he wouldn't make an appearance. So I'm going to lean towards yes, but honestly, I don't know. We know that Cena is going to, he will accept the Funhouse match stipulation. At that point, it wouldn't surprise me if lights go out and the Fiend appears in the ring or something like that. So, yeah, I'm expecting something along those lines. But no one, I mean, I don't even know who knows what we're getting. Because I think the shows are changing around. I think we were meant to get Goldberg and Roman face-to-face, but it looks like that's not happening now, so... Woo! Days, how do you listen to the Insiders podcasts? Heads officially turned. Days, how do you listen to the Insiders podcast? Heads officially turned. I don't know what you mean by that second part, but it's got its own YouTube channel, and you listen to it on where you get all your podcasts from. So I think they're up to like episode 4, maybe, yeah, episode 4, and I think next week is episode 5. But they don't only just have the episodes, they're doing so many interviews. Plus also, Abby's Corner was such a success, like genuine, like the feedback was so overwhelmingly positive that they've made the decision to not like limit its time, because the problem is they've got 1 hour, they're doing tons of interviews, and they've got to include like your thoughts, and that's the whole purpose of it. So like it's getting to the point where Abby's window was going to be like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, something like this. It's going to have to be a real quick segment, and it's been too popular for that. So it's now got its own video. It's now going to be its own standalone thing. So Insiders is, if you're not over there, get over there, because it's growing all the time. Yes, that's our community podcast. You can, we heard Rusty Shackelford, our very own Rusty Shackelford, was interviewed last night, and it was absolutely brilliant. So great to see so many people there as well. There was like 50 to 60 people in the chat at any one time. It was brilliant, and I thought Rusty was awesome, and it was just really positive. It's kind of hard to find like such positive content like that these days, you know. There's a lot of negativity, and it's great. So if you're a fan of these streams, and you know you see the same names in the chat that I do, they're all over at the Insiders Wrestling Podcast, and I urge that you go and join as well. So, yeah, we've got that interview coming up tomorrow. William Hensey says, thank you, Seth Vanderlo. William having his own conversations right now, using super chats to have his own conversations. So there we go. I think we might be caught up with the super chats. Again, if you are just joining us, we've got about half an hour to go until we get to this week's SmackDown. And it's going to be a case that I don't know what we're getting. There's 2 segments that have been advertised. John Cena answers Bray Wyatt, and the Usos and the New Day are on Miz TV. So I'm going to have to wait and see how all of that kind of plays out. Michael Reed says, Days, why was Bubba Ray fired from the takeaway restaurant? Because he kept getting Devon to get the tables. There we go. Another Michael moment. We got Callan Corner and Michael moments. The time at the top of the screen for the UK should be 10. Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. Well spotted. At least I can be pleased to know that people are at least seeing that message. So, seeing my mistakes. Put it down to tiredness. Put it down to tiredness. Skulls Yanks 24. Shout out to you, my friend. Thank you so much for the support. I am trying to get to all, people's comments. Skulls Yanks 24 says, Days, I'm excited for the next 3 days with your live streams. I think the 2 matches that are going to steal the show this weekend will be Fiend, Cena, Edge, Orton. What are your thoughts? Yeah, huge weekend coming up because obviously there's going to be rumors, breaking news. It's why I want to do the Wrestling Escape Pod. I wanted to get that out now because it's such an exciting project that I've been working on that I wanted to get the ball rolling, and WrestleMania is the perfect time to get balls rolling, isn't it? So, that's why I wanted to get that done, but it has really battered me this week. Editing that video has really took it out of me. So that was 10 hours that I had to try and find. So literally, if I've not been streaming, I've been sleeping or editing. So, in retrospect, maybe not the right week to do it, but whatever. So this is what I'm saying. There's going to be breaking news videos. We've seen figure video yesterday. I probably could have done another figure video today, but I haven't had a chance to even look to see what's been announced. Isn't that crazy? There could have been some stuff announced that I haven't even seen. I know that there was a new Liv Morgan, but there was no image of it. I think Ringside Collectibles. I think there was some Masters of the Universe. I think it was a Braun, a Roman, the New Day one that we'd seen last year. I think there was some new Masters of the Universe WWE ones that were announced, and some new pre-orders. But to be honest, I haven't even sat down and looked at any of that. So I think my plan: do this Wrestling Escape Pod, be in the chat for that. Go to sleep, get up tomorrow, hit the day hard, and WrestleMania Day 1. And then, of course, we've got that Insiders interview afterwards. In regards to your question of what matches, I'm looking forward to at least 3, maybe even 4, but I don't know what's happening with Sami Zayn and Daniel Bryan. If Sami Zayn, Daniel Bryan goes ahead, then I think that'll be brilliant, as will Undertaker, AJ, as will Fiend, John Cena, as will Edge versus Orton. I mean, Edge is going to be a man unleashed, isn't he? This is going to be his first match back outside of the Rumble. He's not had a match since he returned. It's kind of clever in a way because they're just easing him back in. If you think about this, so far this year, Edge has wrestled Royal Rumble and now WrestleMania, and that is it. That's all he's done. Apart from the little promos and things that he's been doing, the bump that he took, the concerto. So outside of that, that's all he's done this year. So they are protecting him. They are not overusing him and whatever. So he will be like a man unleashed. He is going to be like a man that's just gonna, do you know what I mean? 9 years he's waited for this moment. Yes, he came back at the Rumble, but it's a Rumble match. It's not quite the same as, the world watching you one-on-one. WrestleMania. It's just a shame he's been robbed of the crowd because, man, could you imagine what Tampa would have been like when his music hit at WrestleMania? I mean, the place would have lost their minds. So at least we got the Rumble. It would be awful if we hadn't have had that Rumble moment. But man, Tampa would have loved the opportunity to have cheered Edge coming back for his first match. So I actually think the card's decent. I mean, I'd say those are like the top matches I'm looking forward to, and then underneath that, there's a few matches bubbling away like Shayna, Becky. Quite looking forward to that. I can't even remember all the matches off the top of my head now. I mean, there's like Aleister Black, Bobby Lashley, I'm not bothered about. Elias, Corbin, I'm not bothered about. The Bayley 5-pack challenge might be all right. Tag ones, the ladder match I would be looking forward to, but I don't think it's happening, so I don't know what's happening with that. Austin Theory and Andrade taking on Street Profits, I'm not too bothered about, but Sami Zayn, Daniel Bryan, I definitely am. I mean, look, we could sit here and just keep going through. I'm not overly fussed by the title matches. Goldberg versus Replacement. And Brock versus Drew. I think that Drew wins that. So, but there's enough there to make this a very interesting couple of days. Plus, I love the fact that it's not going to outstay its welcome. I love the fact that it's going to be quick and light and breezy. And do you know what I mean? It's not like 7 hours long. 1 hour kickoff show, 3 hours main event. It's going to feel more like a takeover. So, I know it's across 2 days. So you can double that, but at least we get to have a sleep in between. Do you know what I mean? So, shout out to you, Skulls Yanks 24. Hope you are well. Right, there was another super chat. Here we go. William Hensey says, sorry, hi days. I have so many openly private conversations in your chat. I think I can at least pay now and then. You don't have to do that, dude. Chat away. That's what it's here for. Chat away. Jason Peace says, Days, don't forget I am on the pod next week. Yeah, I won't forget, but there's so much to talk about that next week just is not in my mind at the moment. In my mind right now is, like, what's going to happen tonight? Wrestling Escape Pod after this. WrestleMania Day 1 tomorrow. Then we've got the Kyle Scarborough Insiders interview straight after. Then we've got WrestleMania Day 2. Then I need to think about a review video. So I've got all of that until I even get to Monday. But yeah, there is a Jason Peace interview on the way as well. This is what I'm saying. It's like they are just banging out these interviews. I mean, in all fairness, when we say that we want to hear or they want to hear, because I've got nothing to do with that podcast. It's just our community. But I love supporting it because I love the community. Hence why I'm over there. But so yeah, like when they say get in touch, or when I say for them get in touch, they really, really mean it. They really mean it. They want to do interviews. They want to include your little audio clips in the show. They want your ideas. They want your artwork. They want to show your things on screen. There's so much. They just need your, feedback. So, and ideas and creativity. So there is absolutely no excuse for anyone to be bored, right? If you're sat at home bored, then you're not playing this game right. Because insiders want to hear from you, and I definitely want your feedback regarding Wrestling Escape Pod that is on after tonight's SmackDown. As said, I am not hosting that on my own. Woo! Right, Days, what do you think Taker's entrance will be? I'm not sure we're going to get much of an entrance because it's in a boneyard, so I don't know. It could be that they actually set up a ring. AJ Styles has come out and said that a boneyard is a cemetery. It is a graveyard. So he has come out and said that it's it's going to be along those lines. There's going to be a grave. It is going to be like a buried alive match, blah, 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 blah. But he also said it's not what you're expecting. Now, I'm wondering if that means that they're going to set up a ring, they're going to set up a little entranceway, and they're going to make it feel like 2K20, because in 2K20, you can actually wrestle matches in, like, swamps and things like this. So there's, like, a ring set up and a little walkway and stuff like this. So this boneyard match could just be, like a street fight. No ring or nothing. No entrances. It's literally let's go straight to the action, and we join Undertaker or we join AJ as he's like looking around this boneyard or whatever, and he's talking to Gallows and Anderson. So there might not be an entrance, or it could have a ring and it could have a little mini entrance stage. I don't know. I don't know where this has been filmed, to be honest. So I'm intrigued by it. I can tell you that much. I think originally Andrew Quinn, I got to tell you, Andrew Quinn for the past month on Twitter, all he's been talking to me about is American Badass. He was desperate for American Badass to return, and any rumor, any little hint that it was happening, he was sending it over to me. So, just American Badass. And then, obviously, we are getting a different Undertaker. And, Andrew Quinn, who's a part of our community, has been freaking out over that. So he actually sent me an article that said that originally Undertaker was going to be coming down on a motorcycle. He was going to be not American Badass, but certainly he was going to use elements from American Badass. We've seen that with the bandana anyway. But he sent me this article a while ago that the bike was going to be used, so I don't know if it still is. I could see The Undertaker arriving at the Boneyard on a bike. I could see that happening. Days, what do you think of Tegan Knox? And can I get a shout out? Shout out to Connor Bell. Tegan Knox, I don't have much of an impression of Tegan Knox, to be honest. I know her probably better as Nixon Newell. I saw a fair few of her matches when she was Nixon Newell on the indie scene. I even saw her live, which is very unusual for me. I actually saw her compete live as Nixon Newell in Wolverhampton. And you could tell that she had a great presence. There was this fatal five-way match, and then her music hit, and she got added to the match. So she was the only girl in this men's fatal five-way. It was the opening match of the evening in the show I went to, I want to say it was 2017. And she held her own, man. She looked great in that match. So she's someone that's a great wrestler, got loads of potential, which obviously WWE saw, but she's been hampered by injury. She's had 2 big knee injuries, and as a result, she hasn't competed that often. I mean, literally, I think she's had a handful of matches. Obviously, quite a few on the house scene, but I mean, on TV, she's not competed that much. So I like her. She's on my radar. She hasn't necessarily done anything outside of that cage match, which I thought was great, that I could really recommend. If someone was like, oh, can you tell me a great Tegan Knox match to watch, I'd have to say that cage match from a couple of weeks ago, Dakota Kai versus Tegan Knox on NXT. Outside of that, still waiting to see what she does. But yeah, bright future. DH says, I've pre-ordered the Jericho Little Bit of Bubbly figure set. It's the first figure that I've purchased in a while. Gotta start collecting again. Great looking figure, yeah, great packaging. A lot of excitement around the AEW figures. We did a whole live stream yesterday. There's so much stuff going on. We did an hour-long live stream yesterday. It wasn't meant to be an hour. In my head, it was going to be 20 minutes. That turned into an hour for a couple of reasons. First of all, the images didn't come through in time from WWE or Mattel, so I was having to use horrible images, but then whilst we were streaming, the proper images came through. So what I would say is, if you watch that video and you look at the pictures at the start and think they look a little bit not that great, they do actually get a lot better, because whilst we're streaming, the official pictures come through. So that's why it goes a little bit longer. Plus also, so many great figures. This is all the stuff that would have been shown at Access, but obviously there is no Access. So the figures shown, you had like the one that I think is incredible, Ultimate Warrior, the day before he passed away. They've got that in figure form. Now we know it was the day before he passed away because he was on Raw. He was on Raw on the Monday, and it was as he was leaving Raw, as he was heading home on the Tuesday, that's when he sadly passed away. So they've actually made a figure of what he looked like when he was on Raw. I will admit the figure itself isn't like the greatest thing you're ever going to see, but I think to get an Ultimate Warrior from that time period, I personally think is very, very exciting. So I am very excited about that figure. Comes in a suit. He's got like a, obviously, face scan, updated face scan to look like what he looked like. Obviously older with grey hair and a bit of a grey beard as well. And a warrior mask you get with that figure as well. Plus, obviously, they showed... the mask is for the figure, by the way. The Fiend figure's been shown. Hollywood Hulk Hogan figure has been shown. There's been loads of great figures. So if you haven't seen that video, check it out. It is an hour long. But, I mean, I feel like it goes by in a second. So, again, if you're bored, there's no excuses. You've got literally no excuses. I want feedback from you. There's things that you can be watching. There's a million streams you can be joining. Interviews you can be listening to. It's been busy. It's been a busy week. Yeah. But still, very weird to think we're sitting here and it's WrestleMania Eve. Just doesn't feel like it, does it? This is going to be a bad SmackDown, says Nab Gaming. Yeah, I mean, all the signs would point to it is going to be a bad SmackDown. I always like to be honest with you guys. When I'm excited for a show, I'll tell you I'm excited. But when I'm concerned, then I'll tell you I'm concerned. And yeah, I'd be concerned about tonight because traditionally go-home shows are not great. All of the feuds are done by that point. So you just tend to get a few finishing touches. You don't tend to get any OMG moments. So by and large, the shows are, solid at best. So even if there was a crowd, I would still be a little bit, don't think we're going to get anything major. In fairness, I would have expected something like a Brock Drew pull apart on Raw. I think, them brawling and the locker room coming down and separating them. I could have seen them doing something like that if it was normal circumstances. The fact that this is the go-home show, the fact that they haven't got that many superstars that they can use at the moment because you were only allowed so many at any one time, that kind of means that I think that we'll probably almost certainly get another repeat match, from like a pay-per-view. So I think we'll probably get another repeat match that we'll sit through and watch, and promos and just a couple of matches that are probably going to be squash matches, and I think that'll be your go-home show. So I can't get a read as to how many people are going to be watching WrestleMania. I kind of feel like there's not much hype, but it's still WrestleMania. It's still going to be the biggest thing going on this weekend, and free on the network. So obviously, if you sign up, if you don't have it, the first 30 days are free. Most of us have got the network anyway, so yeah, I can't get a read on it. Cannot get a read on how big this is going to be. So I think it'll do well. I think it'll do well. But look at Raw. Apparently, Raw's third hour had like horrific ratings, like 1.6 million. Someone said in the chat the other day. I still need to double check that, but I believe them because it felt like it was quite quiet as well. So DH says, breaking news, Linda stood up. Yes, that was a great stream. Really enjoyed that stream yesterday. Thank you to everyone that joined us for the WrestleMania 17 stream. I don't know if we'll do another of those. Genuinely, I don't know. All I can tell you is I did enjoy it. But I kind of feel like they're going to be a nice thing to do once in a blue moon. Certainly not something that I'd be looking to do every single week. But a nice thing to do once in a blue moon. Maybe like when it's Royal Rumble week or WrestleMania week or SummerSlam week. Then maybe on the Thursday of that week we do a watch along, a classic pay-per-view watch along. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and the reaction to it, like the amount of people that joined us, the amount of likes it got, just the positive feedback on Twitter, so far above anything I was expecting. I really thought it was going to be just a handful of people. So yeah, really appreciated everyone that joined in for that one. But of course, the big one is tomorrow, WrestleMania 36. This is WrestleMania Eve. I can see there's people joining us all the time. Apologies if people think I'm repeating myself, but as I said, I can see that new people are joining us all the time. So need to make sure that we're getting these messages out there that we are live tomorrow. Live from 5, but maybe before. We will be live from 5, and we are going to be doing the WrestleMania 36 watch along. And yeah, I don't want to say excited, but I'm definitely intrigued. I suppose I'm excited for a handful of the matches, but just overall, I just don't know what to expect. I just really don't know what to expect. But they keep saying it's nothing like Raw and SmackDown. That's what they keep saying. Days, will we have a superstar shake-up this year? Yes, I think so. I believe we will have a superstar shake-up, but we've got to get past this COVID-19. The bigger problem at the moment is, are we even going to be getting shows? Because looking past this weekend, next week's shows are taped, but nothing's taped after that. So I don't know what they're going to do. There's every chance that we get like SmackDown best-ofs and Raw best-ofs and things like that for a few weeks, maybe even a month. Or they try and record somewhere else because Orlando is now in lockdown. So interestingly, if they hadn't taped WrestleMania, then they couldn't have done it. Because Orlando is in lockdown now, so there's no way they would have been able to have done WrestleMania, so it had to be taped or postponed, but we've kind of spoke about that at length, talking about I'm fairly confident there's insurance reasons and things like that why it wasn't postponed. It is what it is. It is what it is. Days, will they address the Roman situation? The only news that I've got on the Roman situation has come from Triple H, who said they're going to write Roman off in a very unique way. I don't know what that means. But I think the point is making is that they're not just going to put a statement out saying due to the virus, Roman has been unable to attend. I don't think they're doing that. I think they're going to have him jumped backstage or attacked backstage or something like this. Something's going to prevent Roman from having that match, and it's not going to be coronavirus. So yeah, that's the only thing I know about Roman. So there's every chance that they don't write Roman off, or they could. Green Bean 78, shout out to you, my friend. Thank you very much for the support, and to all of you, as I keep saying. I was kind of surprised on the AEW and NXT ratings this week. Figure there have been more people home to watch. Yeah, so if you haven't heard, AEW did 665,000, something like that. NXT did 560 something thousand, something along those lines. 660, 560, something like this. So, yeah, to be honest, that's a reflection of what's going on. And on the one hand, you're right, it is a surprise. Loads of people are off school. Loads of people are off work. Loads of people keep saying that they're bored, but seemingly, like, viewership for wrestling is down. You would look at the Raw ratings, you would look at those AEW NXT ratings, and you would be concerned for WrestleMania. There's nothing that indicates to me that this WrestleMania is going to have more people watching than it would have had. If anything, the numbers at the moment, which is a big surprise to me as well, because this isn't what I was saying a few weeks ago, but looking at the numbers, I think this is going to be less viewed than if people everything was normal, which I don't know. The only thing I can think is that there's a lot of people that have got, obviously, loved ones that are, having to deal with this, or maybe they've picked it up themselves, so they're having to, I hear that it's not a great thing if you get it, because, our health minister got it, and he said it's like having glass in your throat. It's like, it can be really, sore and sharp. It's like, I don't know, it sounds like an extreme flu, like an extreme sore throat, and stuff like this. But yeah, he's like, they've recovered from it now. So that's why he was kind of saying what it was like. But I can only imagine that people are dealing with that. Plus also then you've got people worrying about their businesses. You've got people worrying about their jobs. You've got so much going on in the world right now. I suppose it shouldn't be that surprising that people aren't sitting down going, right, let's watch some WrestleMania, that shouldn't be a surprise when you actually sit down and think about it. So I don't know. I don't know who's going to watch, how many people are going to watch, if it's going to be a success. The only thing I can tell you is that my intrigue level for this wrestling show has never been bigger. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what it's going to look like, because I haven't got a clue. Big Boy Daddy says, Days, so who are all in the 2020 Hall of Fame? So, British Bulldog, Jushin Thunder Liger, the Bella Twins, Batista, NWO. Was there anyone else? Did I miss anyone else? JBL. That is the lineup for the Hall of Fame. And interestingly, if you go onto Twitter and you type onto Twitter hashtag WWE, I think it's HOF Hall of Fame, you get a little emoji that pops up, like how the emojis appear at the end of the hashtags sometimes. There's one of those for the Hall of Fame. There's another one for, I want to say, Access. Maybe Access as well might have one. Oh, no, NXT TakeOver. So you can tell that they've had these planned for a while, because, of course, there is no Hall of Fame and there is no NXT TakeOver. So, yeah, we clearly they had them in the works for a while. But Hall of Fame looks like it's being moved to SummerSlam now, so we've got that still to look forward to. And NXT TakeOver, the matches are actually being put into NXT. So we actually got one this week, which was Keith Lee versus Dijakovic versus Damian Priest for the North American Championship. That was meant to be at TakeOver, but we got it on NXT. Whoo! Right, DJ B Tazzy. DJ B Tazzy says, when do you think is the right time to put the title back on the Fiend? So I'm going to drop a thank you down to DJ. Thank you, DJ B Tazzy. There we go. Thank you for the support, my friend. When do I think they should put the title back onto the Fiend? I don't think for a while. I think you've got to put a bit of distance between his championship reigns, because he lost it. It happened. We've all got to accept it. We've all got to move on. It happened. So there we go. It is what it is. So now I think he should concentrate on some of the feuds. I think he should go after John Cena, which is what he's doing. I think he should go after Randy Orton. They've got to do that feud. I think he could go after Undertaker, potentially. He could go after Shorty G, which I know might sound weird, but when Bray Wyatt was tag champion with the Wyatt family, or the Wyatt family were tag team champions, I think I'm right in saying that was the first title that he won on the main roster, and it was taken away from him by American Alpha. American Alpha beat the Wyatts, so there is a story ready-made for Shorty G and Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt, you know, the Fiend never forgets. So I kind of like it as well, because if he faces Shorty G, he could then change him back. He could change his name. Like, I'll love the Fiend even more if he faces Shorty G and the end result is Shorty G goes back to being Chad Gable. So, yeah, I would move him away from the title picture. Or he goes in a superstar shakeup and goes after the WWE Championship instead. So I don't know is the answer. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I certainly wouldn't be in a rush to have him going back after the title. I think let's focus on the feuds again. So DJ B Tazzy, thank you, my friend. Coaster Maniacs. Did we just become best friends? What, dude? Coaster Maniacs constantly dropping. Not just like donations, just to, you know, say hello, just massive donation. I don't know if Coaster Maniacs won the lottery or what's going on, but Coaster Maniacs, shout out to you, my friend. I never know what to do with donations this side. I tell you what, that might be a good one for the insiders to talk about. Like when we get a donation of this size, how do you say thank you to something that big? Because it's not something that we've ever asked for or ever encouraged, but I mean, you know it's appreciated. You absolutely know it's appreciated. So Coaster Maniacs, definitely. I can't remember if they've said that it's been sorted. I know they've reached out to the insiders, but there will be an interview. I will make sure there is an interview with Coaster Maniacs. Just like the Rusty Shackelford one we had yesterday that was fascinating. I would love to learn more about Coaster Maniacs. Plus, talk about roller coasters as well. So, shout out to you, my friend. Thank you very much for the support. Again, talking of supportive people, Dan the Money Treaty, someone else that I'm trying to get onto that insiders interview, says, Days, thanks again for the stream. Can't wait to watch WrestleMania this weekend. I'm very curious to see how it all turns out. As always, stay awesome, dude. Thank you, buddy. Really, really appreciate the support. As I said, I have no idea how I can thank people other than dropping it on screen and asking the insiders to do interviews so we can learn more about you guys. But there we go. I've put that at the bottom. And where's the controls gone? Where's the controls gone? Oh no! I can't even find the controls now. Well, this is a... Oh, they're there. I was going to say, this is an exciting development, but I've got them. Smackdown is beginning. Right, we've got ladders around the ring. Chairs in the middle. It's the Miz TV. Right, here we go. Miz TV with the Usos and New Day. There we go. I think Moda... Days, can you do a stream where you punch the wall whilst crying and screaming? Why not? Right, let me go through. So, shout out to DJ B Tazzy. Shout out to Coaster Maniacs. Shout out to Dan the Money Treaty. Shout out William Hensey again, Days. It's us saying thank you to you. Please don't feel like you have to give any extra attention. It's all about the community, and it's about those that can. Thank you, William. That's a really nice thought. I appreciate that. Still would like to throw that question out to the insiders. I'll speak to them afterwards. Right, we need to focus on this though. There's so much going on. Thank you so much to everyone, just everyone. Here comes the New Day. So the Usos are in the ring. The ladders are all around the ring because, of course, this is going to be a ladder match. But I don't know if it's going to go that way. That's the only thing. Hello, gorgeous, says Human Detox. Oh, no. Whoa. Whoa, no. Whoa, no, baby! You can just tell that these are the best of friends behind the scenes. Usos and New Day, you know they hang with each other. Here we go. You? Kofi's like, you're gonna be the tag team champions? It is still WrestleMania. He said annals. Wrestling days. Would you ever consider being a wrestler? Brackets. Despite your scrawny body. Shahib, you've hit the nail on the head there. I do have a few physical challenges that I would have to overcome. Most notably, the fact that I have no muscle, no body definition, and I would break like a twig. Chairs are being pushed over. I can't watch Smackdown. Well, you're not missing anything so far, really. Turtleneck tough guys. Days, I've heard that WWE could postpone Money in the Bank, says John Elite. I have heard that. Kofi, Big E, the New Day, says Brandon. Yeah. They're bringing a little bit of positivity, which is what the world needs right now. No matter what you do, what you say, we will thrive. That's what winners do, says The Miz. Hello to Eric. Hope you are well. Hello to Dylan. Shout out to Chuck1000. Moda. Money out the anus. Moda says, donations are all love, Days. It's just us showing our appreciation. By the way, if I was to be interviewed, would we talk about money and anuses? No, Moda, you'd talk about whatever you want to talk about. It's just a way for people to know more about you. I think people would love to know more about Moda. Moda kind of exploded on the scene a few weeks ago. A very active member of our community now. So, yeah, I think people would really enjoy to learn more about you. But if you want to talk about money and anuses, then why not? Right, here we go. Look, we've got Usos, we've got New Day, we've got John Morrison, we got The Miz. All brawling. Lovely super kick there. Kofi goes down. That seemed pretty nasty. That super kick seemed really nasty. Big E. Cleaning house. Into the ladder goes Big E. Now Miz, Morrison have grabbed some ladders, charging into... I think there's so much potential for this match. This match could be absolutely awesome. Because you know the Usos are not going to leave anything back. Neither will the New Day. I mean, Kofi in a ladder match is always gold. John Morrison as well. John Morrison in a ladder match would be great. Eric Haberman, shout out to you, buddy. Green Bean 78. Do you ever see New Day breaking up when Xavier returns? I kind of theorized that it might happen at WrestleMania. I mean, what if one of the moments is Big E turns on Kofi at WrestleMania? I don't know if they will do that, but yes, I do see them breaking up. John Cena answers the Firefly Funhouse challenge. Tonight, Ric Flair's Why are we watching Ric Flair's farewell match tonight? What's that got? Okay. Right, well, we're watching that later, apparently. I mean, in all fairness, out of all the matches to watch, it's a pretty historic one. Right, here is Naomi. Feel the glow. She's in her wrestling attire. Stop it, Days. I will nip you. Why do you hate friendship? I did see, shout out to you, Nails. I did see your comment about nipping me whenever we disagree on anything, which did make me laugh. But yeah, I have not had a chance to reply to comments or anything, as I said. Literally had about 3 hours sleep since last night's stream. We've got a triple threat coming up. Naomi, Lacey Evans, and Tamina. Naomi, Lacey Evans, and Tamina. Naomi versus Lacey Evans. Boom. There we go. Right, so we've got a triple threat coming up. What I'm going to say about the ladder match is I think that has got real potential. I worry about someone like The Miz. The Miz, to me, isn't someone that's going to bring a great deal to a ladder match. He's never been someone that's taken risks, which, you know, in all fairness, has worked well for him because he's not someone that gets injured a lot. So, in fact, I can't remember him ever having, like, a long-term injury. So, but the reason for that is because he wrestles a very safe style. So, not the most exciting person to have in a ladder match, but I do think that John Morrison is, and I do think the Usos are, and I do think Kofi Kingston is, and I do think that Big E and his power brings something very interesting. So, I think there's enough in that ladder match to make it a very, very interesting prospect. Again, I'm going to go back to what I keep saying. I don't know if we get that match because Miz is injured, is ill, is off sick. So I don't know if they're just going to replace the Miz or if they're going to change the match altogether. So it's hard to know whether we're allowed to get excited for it or not. I haven't heard. Eric Haberman says, can't wait for WrestleMania 36 tomorrow. Yep. Crazy. Also, crazy that we've only seen the guest host once. Now, I'm not complaining about that because I'm not Gronk's biggest fan. But, I think it's crazy that he's only done that one segment saying that he's going to be the guest host and then we've not seen him again. Of course, these are unusual circumstances. And, again, let me repeat, I'm not bothered by that. I mean, if anything, I'm happier about it. But, it's hard to know what he's going to do. Like, it's hard to know how much we're going to see him during the show. Wasn't Alexa Bliss like the guest host of WrestleMania the other year, and I think we saw her twice. So it's a bit of a nothing role. It's a little bit of a nothing role. I think you might see him at the start. You might be like a little backstage moment, and that'll probably be it. It's just a way of getting Gronk on the show, isn't it? In all fairness, but yeah, really weird that it is WrestleMania tomorrow. Big Boy Jose says, I heard that it's Morrison versus one of the Usos. I heard this, but that literally makes no sense. Because where's the New Day? I haven't heard anything about the New Day not being... Like, if they were to change it to Morrison versus Jey Uso versus Kofi Kingston in a ladder match, that would make sense. But I can't understand where the New Day have disappeared to. I don't know. This is what I'm saying. I don't even know what match we're getting, but I have heard that rumor as well. Shout out to famous KJ Carter. Shout out to Hamza. J14 says, Days, it seems like you never get sleep with all the streams you do. Do you know what? It's not even the streams. It's not even the streams. Bailey doing a Wrestling Days impression. Nice. Good work by Bailey. Nothing but respect. Right, we've got Sasha and Bailey on commentary, so this should be fun. They're just laying into the women here that are coming down. Obviously, this is going to be a fatal five-way. Lacey, Naomi, Tamina, Bailey, and Sasha. Bailey having a go at... Look at Michael Cole. It suits him. It looks like he's off to a wedding. Looks like Michael Cole in Lacey Evans' hat is off to a wedding. Bailey says she's not going to answer Michael Cole if he's going to be wearing that stupid hat. That's a Mattel figure I need. I need a Michael Cole with Lacey Evans' hat. Days, have you got your Mania snacks? No, I don't really do snacks, to be honest. It's a short stream. I mean, our Raw streams go on for 4.5 hours. Every week we do a 4.5 hour like Raw stream. This one's going to be 5.5 hours, so no. Maybe if it was an 8-hour stream, then I'd be panicking a little bit. But no, this is just going to be a nice bright and breezy stream. That's what I'm saying. I think it's a great length of time as well because there's 8 matches. There's 3 hours, 4 if you include the kickoff show, but they'll only have 1 match on that. It kind of implies that a lot of the matches are going to be quite quick. It's going to be snappy. Because that's not much time, you know. 3 hours for WrestleMania for 8 matches. That's not... I mean, if you think about... NXT tend to do 6 matches in about 2.5 hours. So they're going to try and do 7 or maybe even 8 in 3 hours. Right, we're underway here with this pointless triple threat match. I don't really get it. I gotta be honest, I do hate this kind of booking because this is the day before WrestleMania. 3 of the 5 women that are going to be in a match are having to wrestle now, which you would think would put them at a disadvantage. Sasha and Bailey are on commentary, so they're not having to wrestle. So I don't understand like the logic. You know, if this was the UFC, you wouldn't be forcing Conor McGregor's opponent to fight the day before they've got to fight Conor McGregor. So yeah, I do kind of struggle with these just little, you know, if they actually thought things through. But Days, I want to apologise for not watching along last night. I was catching up on NXT UK. No worries, bud. It was a lot of fun. It was actually, I didn't know what to expect from that stream, but it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of laughs, and certainly with the gimmick battle royal, and Iron Sheik and Kamala rubbing a picture of the Queen on his belly, which is what I do every single morning. Give it a little kiss as well. So it was a lot of fun. You've read my text once and it made me happy, says Coxie37572. I don't even know if you're talking to me. Casanova Lenny says Dudley World Order back in the house. The DWO. Shout out to you, Casanova Lenny. Shout out to Football Bird. Is that 20,000? 20,000. Days, will you be doing any past pay-per-view streams if WWE does go on hiatus? Hard to answer because I don't know what the replacement. I don't know what the replacement shows would be. I don't know what the replacement shows would be. So, yeah, I genuinely I don't know. Would they replace with interviews, promos, vignettes, best ofs? Would there be no shows whatsoever? If they're still going to give us something called Raw, then I'd imagine that we would still end up watching that over, like, going onto the network. Because, of course, anything that's going to be shown on USA or Fox is more widely available than people that have got the network. Only so many people have that. I don't even know how many people. Last time I heard, it was like 1.7 million, but I haven't got a clue. So, to answer your question, if there are no shows, like if they just, I can't imagine it, but if they don't show any wrestling, no best of shows or anything, then yeah, we could look at doing that. But I can't see that happening. I think that if there's no wrestling, new content, they'll just give you best ofs. You'll just get like the best of Raw, the best of SmackDown, things like that. Maybe home cooking with Linda McMahon. That's something I would request. Get your let me know in the chat. I always like to ask you guys a question, so let me know in the chat. What would you like them to put on instead of Raw? Shopping with Sasha? Fishing with Braun Strowman? What would you like them to replace Raw and SmackDown with? Naomi firing some forearm strikes into Tamina. Nathaniel Moody says, hey Days, what match do you think is going to be the surprise highlight for WrestleMania? Surprise highlight? I don't know. I don't know what you could say. Surprise highlight. Sami Zayn, Daniel Bryan. I mean, would that be a surprise? I don't know. I don't know if that would be a surprise or not. Street Profits against Austin Theory and Angel Garza has got great potential. I think all four competitors are really impressive, so that has potential. I think that would be a surprise if that stole the show. Bayley and Sasha embracing. Bayley saying that they're equals. Lacey on the outside going for a big strike. Kick to the head by Naomi. Down goes Lacey. Liam Crook says, match you're most excited for. P.S. I'll be here on the Saturday and the Sunday watching my favourite streamer. Shout out to you, Liam Crook. Thank you, my friend. Match I'm most looking forward to is, well, easily Cena and The Fiend. 100%. But there's a lot of matches like AJ Undertaker is right up there as well. Because I don't know what to expect. Daniel Bryan against Sami Zayn, I think will be brilliant. The ladder match, if it happens, I think that'll be brilliant. So there's loads, actually. There's a good handful. A good 3/4 of the advertised matches I'm genuinely looking forward to. Moda says Otis and Tucker food reviews. That would be awesome. Otis and Tucker food reviews. I like that. Tiger petting with the Undertaker, says Niall Eland. I like that. Tiger petting with the Undertaker. Human Detox wants Liv Morgan jiggling for 3 hours. Tamina gets the win. Bailey has still got a big smile on her face as she stares at Tamina. Could Tamina win this? That's what they're making you think. They're making you think that Tamina's got a chance. Certainly Tamina has looked strongest in the build. She came down and destroyed the women. Was it last week? And now she's just won this match. Might not be the worst to put the title on Tamina. Don't know much about her. Handshake. Handshake between Bailey and Tamina. Bailey says, good job. Oh, super kick. Super kick. Bailey goes down. Sasha jumps in, stares up. I don't like Sasha as, like, Bailey's minion. I don't get this. That's Sasha Banks. Oh, I don't get this. I really don't get this. That's Sasha Banks. Why are they making her out to be... And, like, why didn't she just leave the ring? That was awful. That was rubbish. I can understand that they're trying to build up Tamina and they're trying to make her look like this absolute dominant force. But if you're going to do it, at least let's use logic, shall we? Like, Sasha could have just left the ring then. I would like to see you post a poll on Twitter of the greatest pay-per-views ever, and then we could all do a huge watch-along using the network. I think it would be awesome. We did that yesterday. Granted, we didn't include all of the pay-per-views when we decided. We just looked at the best or the most noteworthy WrestleManias. WrestleMania 17 won, and we did the watch-along for it yesterday from the network. So they're showing us a graveyard here in this little video package for the Boneyard match. Too big for just one night. I don't know if we're going to find out tonight what matches are going on what days. I still haven't even heard that. I don't know what's main eventing. I don't know what matches or what days. No idea. LSW, shout out to you. Rubbish is the word, says Jay. What the hell was that, says Wrestling Days fan. I don't know. I mean, even Sasha... I like Sasha, so if there's Sasha stands watching this, I am not laying into Sasha, but seeing her, like, doing this, it was awful. It was awful, rubbish acting. Like, pretending to be scared. And then she gets Samoan dropped. I don't understand. She just walked into that Samoan drop. There was absolutely no need for her to even get... If she's that scared of Tamina, why would you even get that close? And why wouldn't you just leave the ring? Like, the better thing to have done would have been for Sasha to have, like, slid away, grabbed Bailey and pulled her out of the ring and just kept her eyes on Tamina as she was, like, walking away. That would have got the same impact. That still would have got the message across that Tamina is someone that they are worried about. So, yeah, I don't know. I wonder if Sasha thought that it was a rubbish idea as well, and that's why she was doing this, like, pretending to be, like, nervous. Because it was so rubbish looking. it made me think of Shawn Michaels Hulk Hogan from SummerSlam 2005 when Shawn was like over the top selling everything that Hulk Hogan was doing. Yeah, maybe it was her way of saying, I know this is rubbish. Oh wow, look, it is what it is. It's over now. I love that from Moda. Food reviews from Otis and Tucker. What if Tamina wins the championship, says Train Dude 5. Shout out to you, buddy. She could, and I'd be fine with it. Tamina is someone that has come out of nowhere, really. You know, she hasn't had many matches, or she hasn't got much momentum going into this. She's kind of come out of left field. She's never really done anything that would cause Sasha to be that worried, to be honest. I think they're trying to present her as like Nia Jax. But whatever. I would be tempted to put the title on her. Why not? I think Sasha wins it, personally. I think Sasha wins it because I think it's all going to lead towards Bayley versus Sasha. A bit of a feud throughout the year. But they could go with Tamina. Days, what if Gronk faces Corbin due to Elias being injured in the fall? That is such a realistic prospect. I'm now worried about WrestleMania. Because that legit makes sense. Elias injured in the fall. Could get replaced, and they could use someone like Gronkowski. Who wasn't he the Masked Singer? I saw him trending the other day, and it turned out he was a rabbit. And I was like, what? Because obviously we don't get American Masked Singer. Coming from the Performance Center. None of us can believe that WrestleMania begins tomorrow, Michael. Literally none of us. Tucker with some resistance band training. The truth will be heard. The truth will be heard. There we go. Not only did we get a glitch, but we also... Are you just going to ignore that, Michael Cole? Yeah, let's ignore it. We all saw it. Surely he saw it on his monitor as well. I can understand you ignoring a glitch, but if the words "the truth will be heard" appear on screen, it might be best to acknowledge that. The truth will be heard. Think I'm cute. Bayley said to Tamina, I'll see you Sunday. Yeah, but it was originally planned to be on a Sunday, wasn't it? Definitely looking forward to the Funhouse match. Truth will be heard. Glitch, glitch, glitchy, glitch. Glitchy, glitchy, glitch. Days, what channel is this? Please tell me. I'm watching it on BT Sport. If you're in America, it's on USA. Boy, toy. I don't think we've ever had that Shawn in figure form. Certainly not as an elite. With that little cowboy hat and that entrance jacket. That would be a fun Shawn to get. I think we might have had it in like basic form. But yes, it is time to go back to one of the greatest ever matches. JR on commentary. Now, the stipulation here was the next time that Ric Flair lost a match, that would be when he would have to retire. So, the next time he loses a match, he would have to retire. And at WrestleMania 24, his challenge was Shawn Michaels. So, going into it, we sort of knew this was going to be goodbye. It was never officially his retirement match. If he won, he could have carried on. That's just an interesting little fact that sometimes gets overlooked about this match. This was not Ric Flair's retirement match that we knew of going into it. Well, we kind of knew. It was very obvious that he was going to lose this match. Here he is, the Nature Boy. Look at that. I've got that in figure form. In fact, I've got it right here. Let me show you. Let me show you how great this figure is. Let me show you. Woo! Look at that. How awesome is that? How awesome is that? How great is that figure? Look at this. This is like one of the best items I own. Woo! There he is. Look, doing the spin. Bum, bum, bum. Should have his arms out. Bum, 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 bum. This is one of the all-time best Mattel figures. Absolutely awesome. This is WrestleMania 24. The Nature Boy. Ric Flair. Love that figure. Love that figure. Think it was a Defining Moments Mattel. You'd be able to get one on eBay if you've seen that and thought, oh, that's nice. I'm sure you can get them for a reasonable price on eBay right now. But it is obviously based on what he is wearing there. There is Charlotte in the front row. WrestleMania 24. How weird that 11 years later she would be headlining WrestleMania. Days, it's confirmed Old Lady Doris is the only one in the crowd at WrestleMania. Woo! Look at this. Dream match. Isn't it crazy, right? Just think about this. Isn't it crazy that at WrestleMania 8, for the championship, it was Ric Flair versus Macho Man Randy Savage. Ric Flair versus Macho Man Randy Savage in a really great match as well. Fast forward all the way to WrestleMania 24, and we get Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels. And interestingly, Shawn Michaels was at WrestleMania 8 as well. Shawn Michaels, I think, opened the show. I can't remember who against. I want to say someone like Tito Santana. Can't remember. Definitely going to look. Definitely going to look now. Who did Shawn wrestle at WrestleMania 8? Could have gone Hey Google for that one, but... Woo! Here we go into the corner. Hard goes Ric Flair. I don't mind watching this. I still don't like it, but... Shawn Michaels, Tito Santana. Is that who I said? Did I say Tito? I can't remember. There we go. Shawn Michaels, Tito Santana. That was the first match on the main show at WrestleMania 8. And then for the championship match, it was Randy Savage versus Ric Flair. And here we are, WrestleMania 24, Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair. And how funny that only 2 years later, Shawn Michaels would retire as well. Up top, down he goes. The dirtiest player in the game. Right. It's good to get this out of the way, I suppose, isn't it? We knew there was going to be a replay or some kind of a repeated match. Crossbody 2. Kick out by Shawn. If you are watching and you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe. Make sure that you're joining us because we are back for WrestleMania Day 1 and Day 2 and Monday Night Raw. Raw after Mania. Will they have something up their sleeve for Raw after Mania? Let's go down. Look at that. Shawn Michaels into the commentary table. Catch. That really hurt him as well. He caught the edge of it. It's a nasty bump, that one. It's a really, really nasty bump. You can see how serious that was. I actually don't know if he does any proper damage there, but it wouldn't surprise me if he did. You got it right, Days. It was Chico Santana, according to Jesse the Body. Days, you missed a chat. Did I miss a chat? Let me go up. Yes. Alright, let's go down. Sean Reset says, Days, I ordered 2 Fiends. I ordered 2 Fiends. Oh, what, figures? Yeah, you can pre-order them now, can't you, on Ringside Collectibles? Yes. Liam Crook says, we surely can't have Ronda returning without a crowd. Well, they've got to give you moments, because there has to be... They've got to keep distracting you from the lack of atmosphere. Like, obviously, you've got the Funhouse match and you've got the Boneyard match, and apparently they're going to be on different days. So, one day is going to be The Undertaker, the other day will be the Firefly Funhouse. So, they're doing that. They're also doing lots of stipulations. You've got, like, a ladder match. You've got a last man standing match. You've got a fatal 5-way as well. So there's a few things that they've done to try and distract you from the fact there's no crowd. And I think there needs to be some OMG moments. Like, you always have WrestleMania moments. I don't think you can't do it just because there's no crowd. When will there be a crowd? You can't just put everything on hold. So I would do it. I would have done CM Punk as well. I know people will disagree, but I think that the world needs to be told that WrestleMania is 24 hours away. In fact, less than 24 hours away now, because I don't think most of the world knows, because the world's got bigger problems. So yeah, I would have been looking to have done something with Punk or made a big statement. So, yeah, I think they could bring Ronda back. I believe they could. Let's go down. Did the glitch happen? Yes. And it said the truth will be heard, which automatically makes me think of R-Truth, but I'm pretty sure he's got nothing to do with this whatsoever. But Days, I want to see the McMahons going on a safari adventure trip. I really want to see that, J14. That is... do you know what? In life, there are things that you never thought about or never thought you wanted to see, but I absolutely want to see that. I want to see Vince, Stephanie, Triple H, Shane, Linda in a car going to a safari adventure park. That's it. That right there would be the best Raw ever. That would be the best Raw. It's got nothing to do with wrestling, other than it's the McMahons going on a safari trip. Definitely. That is so good. Zoom Station says I shook Flair's hand. In 92, I think you said. Amazing. Big Boy Dally says yesterday my Jushin Thunder Liger finally arrived. Supreme Rose, Dancing with Asuka. People would tune in for that. Dancing with Asuka for 3 hours. Big right hand by Ric Flair. Let's go down. They haven't mentioned Goldberg tonight. Not so far. If Punk comes back, we need AJ Lee, says Henry. I agree with that. Swamp Manor says, what do you think the best and worst WrestleMania main events were? Didn't like Bam Bam Lawrence Taylor, I think was a flat one. Didn't really enjoy that. I think Sid, Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 8 were fixated on WrestleMania 8. I think that was a flat one as well. Even the first WrestleMania. I mean, like, you can't really say the first WrestleMania, but it was honestly, it was a mixed tag match. The main event of the first WrestleMania was not a mixed tag match. It was just a tag match, but I say mixed because it was like it had Mr. T, so it had like a celebrity. It was mixed in the sense of it was celebrity and wrestling. So you had Hogan and Mr. T taking on Rowdy Roddy Piper and Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff, who's got a new figure on the way. And of course, in their corner was Cowboy Bob Orton. That was Randy Orton's father. So the fact that we got a tag match as the main event of WrestleMania 1, isn't that crazy? I think WrestleMania 1 is mind-blowing. WrestleMania 1 is one of the only WrestleManias to have not had a championship match on it. You would have thought that it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? It's a no-brainer to have a big championship match at WrestleMania 1, but they didn't go that way. So I'd say those probably my least favourite. Look at that. Moonsault to the outside by Shawn. In regards to favourite, well, I mean, look, Brett, Stone Cold comes to mind straight away. Austin Rocks come to mind. I mean, we watched WrestleMania 17 yesterday. It was a dream to just go back and watch it. It was lovely. Really enjoyed it from start to finish. It's so good. Days, do you think Goldberg will retain? No, I think he loses it. Derek says, Days, the Huskus theories. All of Cena's Instagram posts are Bray as Husky Harris, not Eater of Worlds. Could be Bray wanting to erase that from Cena's mind? Ooh, I like that, Derek. I like that. That's very interesting. Ben Russell says, I've got that Ric Flair defining moments a few months ago. I got it at an indie show called Respect Wrestling. It's a really great figure. This is great. The King is comparing Ric Flair to Old Yellow. Old Yeller, who, wasn't that a dog that had to be put down? An old dog that had to be put down. Atomic drop. Big right hand by Shawn. And again. The delayed cells from Ric Flair are a staple of Ric Flair matches. I love the thing with Ric Flair is you don't really appreciate him, or you won't really appreciate him until he's gone. But when he is no longer with us, then people, I think the love for Ric Flair will go through the roof. Big elbow. Days, have you ever been to any big pay-per-views? No. Only like Takeover, Blackpool. There we go. Shawn, upset. It's not yet. He's in the wrong corner. Here we go. Tuning up the band. Tuning up the band. People know that if Ric Flair loses, it's goodbye. Ric Flair in the corner. Shawn hesitates. Michaels couldn't pull the trigger. It's a great moment. Michaels charging forward, and there's just that moment where he looks at Ric Flair. He sees his idol, and he can't do it. He can't pull the trigger, and Ric Flair takes him straight down to the mat, into a figure four. What a great moment. He hesitated, and it's going to cost him. But Michaels reversing the pressure on that figure four. So good. Not the end yet. Not yet. Days, make sure to look up and down before crossing the road. Good advice, Angry Pizza. Days, what is your favourite John Cena Mania match? Maybe against Shawn. I think the one he has against Shawn is probably my favourite. We've seen the glitch before. I love stories. Moda says, on the couch with Bray as a psychiatrist. What, you want that as the replacement for Raw? Nice. Days, there were 3 championship matches at WrestleMania 1. Tag team, women's and intercontinental. Plus main event, Ali was guest referee. Yes, but there was no WWE championship match. By I don't know if I said WWE championship, but by championship, I meant the main one. I don't know, actually, if there's any other WrestleMania where the main championship was not on the line. I don't know. I'd have to go back and have a look. But it wasn't on the line in that tag match. If Hogan and Mr. T had lost the main event, Hogan wasn't losing his title. So, yeah, interesting little fact. I think I've heard that that's the only WrestleMania that hasn't got a WWE Championship match, but I don't want to commit to it because I'm trying to go through my memory bank and I can't think of any other examples. Hello from Lockdown in Tennessee. Hello from Lockdown in the UK. Shout out to you, Richie Oxford. The art of standing with Linda McMahon. Yes. How to rise up out of a chair like a boss. Yeah, that would be a fun little video to watch. Days, when Macho Man passed away, I was sad because he was one of my favourite wrestlers. Can someone please tell me what's happened on SmackDown so far? Not a great deal, to be honest. We've only had a little promo. We've had a little promo from Miz and the Usos and the New Day, and we've also had a triple threat match that meant nothing. Days, I think the 2 best WrestleMania main events were Cena Michaels, I'd agree with that, and Triple H Jericho. Triple H Jericho is pretty cool. Anthony Salazar says, is this a SmackDown or a best of? It is a SmackDown. But we are watching Ric Flair at the moment. So it's not a best of, but they have been giving us like repeated matches. So thank you, Anthony Salazar. Really appreciate the support, my friend. But yeah, we was expecting at least one match to get repeated. We've been getting that on most shows. We've still got John Cena to come. John Cena is going to address the Firefly Funhouse match, address the Fiend. Just a little video package. Too big for just one night. WrestleMania tomorrow. Amazing. Can't believe it. Doesn't feel like it. There are people who consider Moolah versus Richter at WrestleMania 1 the real main event. That wasn't at WrestleMania 1, was it? Wasn't, Did they face each other at WrestleMania 1? I don't think they did. I think it was Richter versus Lalani Kai at WrestleMania 1. And then at WrestleMania 2, Fabulous Moolah versus Velvet McIntyre. I don't even know where that information has come from. I don't even know where that... I think I've just tuned into something. Don't know. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it was Wendy Richter, Lalani Kai. Anyway, let's get back to this match. Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels. Ric Flair taking the legs away from Shawn Michaels, cutting him down to size. Little woo, little roll up by Shawn. 1, 2. Kick out. This is a great match to rewatch, by the way, so. I am sorry. I love you. It's coming. Another figure 4 first. Days Taker is my favourite, and I went to Mania 30 and 35. And 35. The years Taker lost. He didn't lose at 35. He beat... What did he do at 35? He wasn't there. He wasn't at 35. I don't think he didn't appear at all, did he? I think wasn't 35 the first year we didn't get him at all, but he actually showed up the night after on Raw. And then 34 was Cena, Undertaker. 33 was Undertaker, Roman. Nice. Still in a figure 4. Shawn gets to the ropes. Days, I will go cray-cray if Ronda Rousey returns at WrestleMania and costs Becky Lynch the match. I don't know. I don't know. She could. She could. I could see that title going on to Shayna. Kind of makes sense to do it that way, actually, because Ronda doesn't need the title. Shayna does. People don't really know about Shayna, the casual fans, the people that don't watch NXT. They don't know about Shayna Baszler. So put the title on her. Everyone knows about Ronda. And then you've got 2 big names, haven't you? Super kick. Out of nowhere. Super kick by Shawn. Ric Flair down. Everything Shawn does. Shawn just lives his matches, doesn't he? 1, 2. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. Ric Flair's in-ring wrestling life continues. What WrestleMania is this? This is 24 from Orlando Citrus Bowl. Fun fact, I was in Orlando the week before this. I was in Florida the week before this. I saw all the adverts around Orlando. There's a little thing called the I Ride, which is like this little, I don't know if it's a tram. I think it's a tram that goes all up and down International Drive in Orlando. And you know, you just jump on and get off where you need to get off. And I'll never forget, on the floor of that I Ride, of that tram in Orlando, was a massive WrestleMania 24 poster. And I just remember looking at it and seeing all the matches that were being advertised. And it was just really cool to kind of be in a place where WrestleMania was going to happen. Sadly, I left the week before it actually happened. Otherwise, 1000% I would have been at that Mania. And what a Mania to have been at as well, to have witnessed this match. Low blow, the dirtiest player in the game, Ric Flair, goes low on Shawn Michaels. Moda says, I pre-ordered the Fiend and Rick Rude figures. I had to have those. Days, I was born at WrestleMania 24. C Wrestling says, this match is awesome. Just tainted for me because Ric Flair went to TNA and had loads more matches. I'm quite fortunate in having not watched TNA. So, to me, he did retire after this. To me, this was his goodbye. The thing was, Flair didn't want to retire. The story that was being told was the true story. Vince thought it was time for Flair to call it quits. Vince thought that it was the end. So that's why he said, next time you lose, Here we go, look the term. Little slap to the face by Ric Flair. Ric Flair using whatever he can. Thumb to the eye of Shawn Michaels. This is a really great match to rewatch. 1, 2, quick little roll up. Ric Flair didn't want to retire. So I suppose we shouldn't be too surprised that he ended up going over to TNA. Trading chops. Back and forth. Days, in your opinion, what would be a good pay-per-view that they could do Undertaker Sting at? It's got to be Mania. It's got to be Mania. That's a Mania match. Sting deserves more Mania moments. You don't have SummerSlam moments or Survivor Series moments. And I understand that you could do Survivor Series and the 30-year anniversary and stuff like that, but it wouldn't be as epic for me. It's a dream match, but it's a match that I want at Mania. Hopefully Mania next year. This is the end. This is the end. Look at this. Silence from the commentators. Ric Flair. I'm sorry. I love you. Wow. 1, 2, 3. And as I said, that was the last time I saw Ric Flair. Shawn Michaels bought 2 Rolex watches and gave one to Ric Flair and one to him. He bought Ric Flair a Rolex watch and he bought himself a Rolex watch. And on the inscription to Ric Flair's, it says, to be the man. And on Michael's, it says, you gotta beat the man. That's what he had inscribed on him. To be the man. On Ric Flair's, you gotta beat the man. On Shawn Michaels's. And there we go, look. Ric Flair. I've never known a grown man cry as much in my life. And that's it. They very quickly cut Shawn Michaels' music because obviously everyone... Look at Charlotte. Charlotte's a mess. Ric Flair's a mess. The crowd are a mess. The crowd are wooing. That's his son, isn't it? That they keep showing. Look at that. It was perfect, wasn't it? It was perfect. They keep saying this. If you're going to go out, if you're going to retire, there's not a better way of doing it. You lose your last match. That's the tradition. You lose your last match. But to go out to Shawn Michaels with your family in the front row. What a moment. What a freaking moment. Sting rumours literally every Mania. Right. What time? Breaking news. Breaking news. What? Breaking news on another match. So what's the... Unless the breaking news is that Elias is out. Shame that you didn't watch TNA. Flair had a great hardcore match with Mick Foley. I've not seen it. I might have to check it out. I do try to watch some of the iconic matches. But yeah, I'll be very honest in saying I've not seen that one. So thanks for the tip, Jim Gore. Hope you are well. I'm not familiar with the phrase, but I have heard it. To be the man, you got it eat the man. Imagine this if it was at the PC. Oh, God, yeah. Could you imagine? Horrific. So hang on, what's the breaking news? You've got to... Okay, that's an interesting point. So, the breaking news, guys, is there is no... What? What? Have I missed it? Have I missed the announcement? Have I missed the announcement? Did I miss the announcement? That's how they're telling us. A graphic. I don't understand. I've missed the announcement. Literally, there's a graphic that says Elias, King Corbin. Let's see, if Elias is going to be able to make it or not. By the way, Goldberg defends his title against Braun Strowman at the Show of Shows. Right, let's go over to Otis at... What, that is the unique way that you're writing Roman out of WrestleMania. Oh yeah, we've got this really unique way. We have got such a unique way of writing Roman Reigns out of WrestleMania. You are going to freak when you see our unique way that we have written Roman Reigns out of WrestleMania. Get this right, gather round, right? This is what we're going to do. We're going to show a graphic of Goldberg and Braun and not say anything about it. We're just going to flash this graphic up and hope that no one notices that we've changed the match. That must have been announced earlier today. I cannot believe that they haven't given it to like ESPN. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't believe that they haven't gone. As you might have heard, breaking news came through from ESPN earlier today. The big dog out of WrestleMania. We do have more on that story in a bit, but the replacement has now been announced at the Show of Shows, the grandest stage of them all. Goldberg will be defending his Universal title against the monster amongst men, Braun Strowman. No, none of that. Forget all of that. What we got instead was Goldberg will be defending against Braun Strowman at WrestleMania 36. Right, let's go see Otis. Let's see what Otis is up to. This is madness. Madness. Moda says, watching Flair fall after the super kick was like watching my soul slowly crushing inside my body. That is so deep. Like, honestly, I don't even know if Ric Flair felt like that. His soul slowly crushing inside of my body. Well, look, if that's how it made you feel, I'm not sure that's what they were going for, in all fairness. All good things have to come to an end, Moda. All good things have to come to an end. Mark Clark says, I know WrestleMania is going to be different, but let's be hype. Let's be hype. Josiah Davenport, shout out to you, buddy. Hello to all my fellow Fireflies and my favourite YouTube champion. Oh, I'm a champ? Oh, I didn't know. Cringe champ of the world, Wrestling Days. Shout out to you, my friend. Thank you so much for the support. Really, really appreciate it. My God, what a unique way. Yeah. Unique way. Literally give us no explanation. It's madness, isn't it? That was madness. Josiah Davenport, shout out to you. Mark Clark, shout out to you as well. Thank you very much, guys. I bet you are both looking forward to the Firefly Funhouse match. We should be hearing, we've got 54 minutes of SmackDown, so 54 minutes to go, and we should be getting that John Cena segment. That should be coming up soon, where he is going to accept Bray Wyatt's proposal, not in marriage, but that they have a Firefly Funhouse match. I still can't believe how they've announced that match, though. The fact that we're getting Goldberg versus Braun, but don't tell anyone. That was so unique. Right, crazy. I wonder if they changed their mind or something. I don't know. Perhaps they just feel that the news is out there. Perhaps they feel, well, Roman's already announced it now. Why in the hell, WWE, have SmackDown and Raw? It's the same thing. It's a fat little grey Star Wars thing. What does that even mean? I don't know what that means. I love the comment, but I don't know what it means. Cheyenne Foster says, have I missed something? We've all missed something. I feel like Vince told himself, but no one else. Goddamn, pal. Roman Reigns is out of WrestleMania. Change the graphic. But he didn't actually tell any of us. Tucky. Old Tucky on his way. Again, you know, just to reiterate how frustrating it is that they make wrestlers have matches the day before WrestleMania. Now, I know this is taped. But I'm still to believe that this is live. Because in all fairness, BT Sport is telling me this is live. Days, you're going to need a lot of coffee for Mania, says Joseph Lewis. I think it's going to be all right, dude. I mean, I would be a bit more concerned if it was all in one day. The fact that they're spacing it out across two, I think, was a really clever move. I think it was a really, really clever move. Because it doesn't cost them anything extra, does it? It doesn't cost them any more money to do it across 2 days. And if anything, it gives us 2 shows to look forward to. And I think it was really clever. I think that the card is strong enough to support 2 shows. And it means that we're not going to have to, you know, stick around for hours and hours and hours. I would love for that to be a template for the future. I really would. 2-day WrestleMania. Nice and short. 3 hours each day. Lovely. Christian will do a peep show. Christian will do a peep show with Hulk Hogan. I've heard this rumour. The Priest, Johnny Bates, says, WrestleMania spoiler. Are you ready? Hot Rod, Rodney Trotter, and Del Boy, Derek Trotter, debut and attack the Fiend. Some of our American friends might not know who Rodney and Del Boy Trotter are. I don't know if America has Only Fools and Horses. But it is widely regarded as one of the UK's best ever comedy series from like the 80s and the 90s. Right, we're underway with this match. Brilliant. Dolph versus Tucker. It's not telling us that it's live in America. Wow, it's just BT Sport lying to me. Either way, I still feel that it's silly for them to be having this match now. So close to WrestleMania, even if it was recorded last week. I mean, in all fairness, it's not a massive gripe because wrestling has always done that. But I do feel that, like, I do feel like the emergence of UFC in particular has really shown, you know, maybe a different way to present things. I've said this before. I would love if wrestling was to get weight belts, weight classes, because then I feel that people like Ricochet and whatever, they could be champions in their own rights. They could have a light heavyweight championship or a middleweight championship, or, you know what I mean, a heavyweight championship, something like that. I think it'd be an interesting experiment. And as long as they keep rotating, so, you know, if you have the light heavyweight championship main eventing some pay-per-view shows, or you have the middleweight championship main eventing, then those titles are always going to feel as important as the main titles. UFC do a very good job of that. Their shows are constantly headlined by different weight belts. Same with boxing. Boxing, obviously, you've always got, you know, different weight championships defending their titles. I feel like wrestling, it would work as well. And I really feel like we need to go that way, because clearly it's not working that well for smaller guys. Vince has always had a problem with them. You know, look at Ricochet. Ricochet should be a champion in his own right. But how is Ricochet or Ali or Finn Balor or Daniel Bryan, or how are any of these ever going to beat Brock Lesnar? I think it's an interesting conversation. One that people will be very split on, so not a conversation I'm looking to really explore too much. But I have always felt that there's opportunity to kind of head that way. Because then you could have, as I said, Ricochet could be a champ. Aleister Black could be like light heavyweight champ. You don't want to, I suppose in a way, you don't want to flood with belts either, do you? But I don't know. I just feel like the way that it's going at the moment isn't right. Ricochet can wrestle, but he has no charisma, says Robin813. DX47X says Roman Reigns not being at Mania announcement was phenomenal. Oh wait, let's just replace him with Strowman. Enjoy your night days, and I always love the content. Paul Bearer returns at the Boneyard match. Might be a struggle, Cedric. Might be a struggle. Hate is a strong word. Calling Corner has got its own username now. That's amazing. I'm going to give this SmackDown 1.5. I'm just waiting for John Cena. Yeah. Vince McMahon needs to retire, says Jim. Yeah, I mean, I do think that's part of, well, a big part of the problem. Yes, I do agree with that. I do think that this way could work, because this has worked for forever. You know, we've never had weight classes in wrestling, and it's always been fine. But yeah, just recently it's felt like, and certainly with Brock being such a big dominant champion, it's just I really feel for people like Shorty G that you just can't ever see being champ, or Rey Mysterio, or Austin Theory, or Andrade, or, do you know what I mean? Like, the list goes on of all of these great wrestlers that just aren't big enough, if you will. Always makes me laugh as well that Conor McGregor is 175 pounds. Conor McGregor weighs 175. So if Conor McGregor was in WWE, he would be small in 205 Live. He would be small. He'd be a small guy in 205 Live. Yet look how much money he makes. Look at how much money. He's broken pay-per-view records. So it's just, it's not true that small people or smaller guys don't draw money or anything. There's Sheamus, look. Burnt to a crisp. I am confused. They're showing us some classic Snickers WWE adverts. Tucker and Dolph Ziggler. If Tucker wrestles Dolph Ziggler in an empty room, did it even happen? That's the kind of philosophical questions I like to pose. Strikes to the midsection. Days, that's the unique booking of replacement for Roman. Yeah, amazing. It's because McGregor can talk very well. Can't he just? Can't he just? Yeah, I mean, it's true. He still wouldn't work. I mean, he would completely fail in WWE. Vince would see him as too small, and his promos would be scripted. He'd be absolutely screwed. He wouldn't draw a dime. Yeah, take him away from those restrictions, and he's breaking pay-per-view records. Oh, well. Look, there's many conversations that we could have. We could put the world to rights. But let's try not to get too distracted. We've still got 40 minutes. This has not been a brilliant SmackDown, but we did say this on the preview, didn't we? That kind of wasn't expecting it to be a brilliant SmackDown. Into the ring steps goes Dolph Ziggler. Oh, yeah. Imagine being a casual fan and seeing that announcement. I know, yeah. Well, you would think that you've missed some. You'd be like, oh, they definitely announced this. Or did they announce this on NXT? Or was this on their YouTube channel? Or was it on Twitter? Or Ziggler gets his foot on the rope. Days, please read. I was at a WWE live show in Dublin when Rollins got injured and he had to relinquish the WWE title. I remember that. Cody. I was at some of the shows when they came to England straight after. So, yeah, I remember that. A few years ago, that was. Rusty Shackelford. Sorry I'm late, Days. Did I miss anything? Shout out to you, Rusty. I was talking about you earlier, bud, and talking about how much I enjoyed your interview. Although there we go, took it down on the steps. Struggling to catch his breath. Yeah, shout out to you, Rusty. You haven't really missed anything, bud, apart from they have announced that Roman is out in a very unique way. Mandy Rose has come out. She's telling Dolph to stop. Here comes Otis. Duck it! The truth will be. Well, just tell us the truth. Oh, it is! It is telling us the truth! What is going on? What is going on? Ali! Ali! It's got to be Ali! It's got to be Ali! Oh, it's turned out that it's actually a 14-year-old hacker.
He's big. He's really big, but I think Otis is cute in a different kind of way. And he's super sweet.
Wow, this is fascinating.
I feel like you think I don't support you right now.
So there's a hacker that's like
And I'm excited for your date.
hacking into the...
Just promise to give me all the deets when you get home. Of course.
It's going to turn out to be Sonya, innit? Look at this for storytelling. Look at this for storytelling. So that text that was sent by Sonya. And we've got... Sounds great, Mandy. See you there, Mandy. Heart emoji. Delete! 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 Oh, look, Sonya's like, oh my god. You're going to get what you want. I'm going to get what I want. Talking to Dolph. That was camera 3 there. So look at this. The truth is coming out. The truth will be heard. Well done, truth will be heard, guy. Well done, Ali. It was well worth taking that 2-week computer hacking course so that he could hack into the security system, the security cameras, reveal the truth. Friendships have been broken. Relationships have been broken. Oh, it's just... Oh, he got one hand on Dolph then. One hand on Dolph. Wow, this SmackDown just got drastically good, didn't it? This SmackDown, what you hope for is you hope for a talking point. Got it. Looks to me like, my guess is it's Ali. He's now being like a vigilante and he's hacking in and exposing wrongdoings. So in many ways, he's like a lazy Batman. So that's his new gimmick. He's a lazy online Batman, which is very much what I put on my business cards as well. So I feel like me and Ali have got so much in common. We're like basically the same person. Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke Nack. That's coming up. Otis is going to rip off Dolph's head. Who is behind GTV? It does have that vibe. That was a long time ago, though, wasn't it? GTV was a long time ago. Nicholas is the hacker kid. Sonya versus Mandy could be leading to that. I can see a new match at Mania. I don't think so. I think it will be Otis versus Dolph. I think that Mandy will be in Otis's corner. I think that Sonya's going to try and repair the friendship, but it'll probably lead to a match between the two. CM Punk. Punk would be... Could you imagine if it were... Why would Punk involve himself in that storyline, though? Do you know what I mean? Is that really how you would bring Punk back? I'm not sure. Daze, you're the hacker. Oh, it's the same. Yeah, you're right, Dave. Yeah, you're right. I like that. I really like that. I thought it was really good. I thought it was done really, really well. It's been teased for a long time. Then finally, the truth will be heard. It's the kind of cryptic message that you go, well, it's kind of cryptic message. You go, okay. But the truth will be heard, and the truth was heard. Because obviously now it's been exposed. It's been exposed. Tasty. Snitches get stitches. Instead of the anonymous Raw GM, it's going to be the anonymous SmackDown GM. I don't think they're a GM. I think they're a vigilante. I think they're a hacker. I think it's Linda. I think it's Linda McMahon. She's always watching. DX47 says, breaking news, Roman Reigns won't be at Mania because WWE can't do their jobs properly by not announcing this correctly to the crowd. Not all says this is actually an entertaining SmackDown. I don't know. I wasn't really into the women's triple threat. Well, the first segment was okay. It was okay. It's hard to get excited about a match that you don't know if you're getting or not. And then obviously a repeat of a match. I can't fully support showing us matches we've already seen. But if I do have to sit here and watch a match Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair in his retirement match would be one of my top picks anyway. So, yeah, I think definitely looking at this show a lot more favourably following that very interesting little moment. R-Truth. The storyline is great. I agree, it's great. What is the biggest match of tomorrow night? I don't know, probably, well, you'd have to say the championships. There shouldn't be anything bigger than the titles. What if it's Ricochet finally doing a superhero gimmick? Different brand. Ricochet's on Raw. That's why people think it's Ali. And the Circle as well. Days, who do you think will win the ladder match on NXT? I can't even think who's in it. Isn't it like, is it Tegan and Candice and Dakota Kai and... Honestly, I don't know. I'd have to have a look at all the participants because I can't remember all 6 off the top of my head. Oh, Sonya's gutted. No, really upset. She's let herself down. I thought she was better than that. I really did. I didn't think she'd be going in for this rubbish. Highlight of the night. Wow, highlight of the night was Hacker Boy. I think Otis and Mandy will have a cheeky smooch at the weekend. Oh, that'd be lovely. Think it's Ali. If it's not Ali, then maybe it's Bo. Tegan is going to win the ladder match. Days, I really enjoyed that. After all these glitches, I wasn't expecting that at all, but I thought it was cool and a great way to boost the storyline, says Sophia. Yeah, it was starting to become apparent that the glitches were always around when Dolph was around, so that connection had been made. I thought that the glitch... I think I put it in my WrestleMania prediction video that the glitch would be involved during that match at Mania. I wasn't expecting that reveal to happen tonight. I was expecting something for Mania. But I suppose it makes sense to tell the story before so that you can get the payoff at Mania. Right, half an hour to go. Don't forget, we've got Wrestling Escape Pod. Very, very excited for that. That is going to be in 45 minutes' time. And it's going to be over on the Wrestling Escape Pod YouTube channel. Hoping to... Well, I'm not going to go into too much detail. All I'm going to tell you is I'm not alone. Right, we've got... Here we go. Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Very excited for this. Shinsuke! Vape Ross Vape isn't having a cam in the women's locker room illegal. I don't know if it was the women's locker room or if it was catering. They kind of had a table set up. What if it was a locker room? Then yes, I'm afraid whoever the hacker is also a dirty pervert. But I'm not sure it was. To be honest, I thought it was catering. I seem to remember a table, and I thought it had like coffee and drinks and things on, but maybe I was wrong. I'm still absolutely fine with saying the mystery hacker is a pervert. I've got no problem with saying that. So yeah, let's say it was the locker room. And let's say he put the cameras there just to perv on women and nothing to do with the truth. But then he saw that and he was like, hello, I can turn myself into a hero here. And so, you know, it all worked out for the good in the end. But still, he absolutely should go to prison. Because you're not allowed to do that. It's Vince. who's put the camera in the women's locker room. In my head right now, I am seeing a women's locker room, and I'm seeing a mannequin of a woman sitting there like this, and it's wearing like a nice dress, and it's sitting perfectly still, and its eyes are cameras, and it's like, zzz, and like there's people keep coming over having oh, hello, are you new? You must be the new girl that's joining. Hello, I'm Lacey Evans. Oh, okay, well, fine. Nice to meet you anyway. I hope they went to those lengths. I hope it's not just like a camera up in the corner. I want it to be a proper hidden camera inside a fake woman. Brilliant. If you're watching, Vince, I hate you. Right, we've got Daniel Bryan in the ring with Shinsuke Nakamura. Once we get past this match, we will move on to John Cena accepting the Firefly Funhouse match. Spoiler alert, Sting returns at the Boneyard match. That has not been reported. Don't you get me excited. Everyone wants the glitch guy in jail, but Becky is walking around scot-free. Put her in jail. I don't know, why are we putting Becky in jail? Put her in jail. Why not? Let's get some jail fights. Let's get some prison fights. That's what I want. I want a match in prison with Shanks. Shanks and Contraband. Nice kip up. This one is for you, says Daniel Bryan. He's trying to get in my head, says Sami Zayn. But he's not in my head. Sounds like he's in his head. Just stick R-Truth as the host of Mania. That would be awesome. Yeah, R-Truth as the host would make a lot of sense. Days, you spelt Shinsuke wrong. Mate, there's bigger problems in the world. Bigger problems. 1, 2, shoulder up. Days, heard there was a glitch with a message. What did it say? Kieran, it said, I'm coming for you, Kieran. It actually mentioned your name. It said, I'm coming for you, Kieran. And then once that message disappeared, it said Graham. So that's how we know that it was personal to you. So I'm not sure how old you are. In my head, you're about 8 or 9. Definitely they're coming for you, Kieran. They're coming for you. I'm not trying to scare you, Kieran. But they're coming. They're coming, Kieran. Ah, what are you going to do? And you know when the lights are off and it's pitch black? That's the worst time. That's the worst time. That's when they're at their strongest. So, yeah, not much really. In all fairness, Kieran. But they're coming! Right, we're at commercial break. Fake spoilers. You spelled Shinsuke wrong. Days, Ali used to be a cop. What if he snapped one day and decided to do the opposite and be a hacker? Perhaps he was a cop, but he worked in, like, online policing or whatever it's called. He was an online policeman, and now he's transferred those skills over. Days, Otis backwards is Saito. Oh, there we go. There we go. Breaking news. A prison riot. That would be awesome, yeah. That would be awesome. The truth is heard. The truth is heard. Can someone tell Mama Days and let her know that Daisy's meds have worn off? Oh, I just get like this when I'm bored. I'm bored. I shouldn't be bored during Daniel Bryan Shinsuke Nakamura, but the match means nothing. It had 0 build. Do you know what I mean? Like, if this was on WrestleMania, I'd be really looking forward to it. but you just know it's not. Its only purpose is to build up Daniel Bryan versus Sami Zayn. I really hope Sami wears actual wrestling attire. I really hope he doesn't wear what he wore at Elimination Chamber, says Ben Russell. Your boy says there's bigger problems in the world. There is. That's my go-to generic answer now. It's like, can you do this? No, there's bigger problems in the world. What do you think about this? I don't know. There's bigger problems in the world. Can you help me bring the shopping in? No, there's bigger problems in the world. It's a generic answer that works for anything now. If you're self-isolating and anyone's asking you to do anything, just say no, there's bigger problems in the world. I'm bored. I need some kind of escape pod. Funny you should mention that, C Wrestling. Funny you should mention that. Yeah, I'm really... Do you know what? I should be hyping it up even more. Wrestling Escape Pod. But yeah, I haven't really been mentioning it too much. It's snuck up on me as well as you. It is coming. Wrestling Escape Pod. As soon as this finishes in about half an hour. So this is on for 20 minutes. And then we'll stick around. We'll do our scores. And then I'm going to jump over there. What I will say about Wrestling Escape Pod is it's chilled. It's chilled. It's got a different vibe to these watch-alongs. Yeah, I'm over there. I'm just going to be over there chatting with you guys in the chat. So if you want the chat to continue, if you want to talk about WrestleMania or whatever, I'll be over there talking about whatever. And Wrestling Escape Pod will be playing as well. In the background. Big kicks coming in by Daniel Bryan. Are you watching Daze's live stream tonight? There's bigger problems in the world. Daze, Mustafa Ali has to be the hacker, even though he was never a heel in WWE. Well, I mean, look, what he's done there is he's exposed the truth. I don't think you can say that that's a heel thing to do. Do you know what I mean? People love Otis, and now we've got some answers for Otis, so I don't think what you've seen there is a heel thing at all. I don't think WWE are trying to make out that someone has put cameras in women's locker rooms, right? I think we've kind of gone down those roads. I think this person is meant to be a good guy, a Batman, a vigilante, a social outcast. Is that Bo Dallas? Is that Adam Rose? Is that Curtis Axel? Is that the other one? Heath Slater, I think. I can't remember. I think it was Heath Slater. It was an old, for those of you that don't know, that was an old group from a few years ago now. Isn't it amazing how fast time flies? But I don't even know what year that was. 2016, maybe. Daze, can you sing Sweet Caroline? Yes, but I'm not going to. Because actually my voice, I did so much shouting during the WrestleMania 17 stream that my voice has actually gone a little bit hoarse. So, yeah, I'm just kind of sitting here, just, you know, hanging with you guys, enjoying this go-home episode of SmackDown. Obviously, we've just had that great glitch moment. Yeah, I'm going to try and just save my voice a little bit. I love how C made a video about a hacker. Priest Johnny Bates. C is always on the case. They call him C on the case wrestling. BBYPSI says, Days, my self-isolation is with the Bullet Club Bunny, and there is no way that I am bored. Dude, can I pop round? I mean, like, I will wear a hazmat suit if I'm allowed to pop round and just introduce myself to the Bullet Club Bunny. Hello. I love all animals. I'm a big animal lover. especially the Bullet Club, but any bunnies actually. The AEW bunny, I'd be quite happy saying hello to. The Bullet Club bunny, I'd be quite happy saying hello to. Shark Boy, I'd be quite happy saying hello to. Do you know what I mean? I'm all about the animals. Days, something tells me the hacker is Balor. No. Could be. When I say no, I don't mean no it isn't. I mean, no, that doesn't quite work for me. Because of the circle, which looks like Ali's thing, but also, Balor's in NXT. He was going to work a program with Volta. They started this whole glitch thing before they had to cancel that program, so it would be a drastic change. Massive change of direction, and I don't think that's what they had planned. This is actually a really good match. I love how Sammy is saying, how did he do that? How did he do that? Trying to work out how Daniel Bryan is doing some of these things. Lovely reversals. This, do you know what? This deserves a "This is wrestling" chant. There's no one there to do it, so let's do it for it. This is wrestling. This is wrestling. This is wrestling. And now we've got some outside in. This is outside interference. This is outside interference. Into the crowd goes Drew Gulak, the wrestling purist. Tope Suicina by Daniel Bryan. I don't know why John Cena didn't do more Tope Suicinas and call it the Tope Super Cena. Why didn't he do that? AKA suicide dives. But Daniel, they could have been called the Tope Super Cenas. These are just random wrestling. Welcome to my new segment, Random Wrestling Thoughts. Random Wrestling Thoughts. Drop in your random wrestling thought. What is your random wrestling thought? Mine is, why did John Cena not do more Tope Suicinas? Also, why have I got a green marker pen? Not a clue. I don't even know where this has come from. Don't know where it's come from. Or even if I should be putting it in my mouth. But I am. Right, Daniel Bryan is down physically and probably emotionally. Because he is being forced to wrestle a match the day before WrestleMania. Doesn't make sense. Nakamura in the corner. Nakamura, that's my new kids book. My new kids book. Right, we're now going to read Nakamura in the corner. Nakamura was in the corner. And he was very happy and spy. I don't know what spy is. It needs work. Shy. Shy was the word I should have gone with. Nakamura is in the corner. He was very happy, but shy. Let's see if we can convince Nakamura to come out of the corner by saying Kinshasa, if you can say it. Kinshasa. Kinshasa. Let's get Nakamura out of the corner. That's my brand new project that I'm going to be working on. Wrestling Days reads kids' books live on the internet. He makes them up as he's going. That was all made up off the top of my head, by the way. You might think that I'd been planning that for months. That was all off the top of my head. Nakamura in the corner. Sweeping. Absolutely sweeping the bookstores. Noble and Nobler, or whatever they're called. What's the bookstore? I can't remember what the bookstore's called. Noble and Brooks. Brooks and Noble. What's the bookstore called? Barnes and Noble. Is it Barnes and Noble? I can't remember what these things are called. When did Jamie Noble open a bookstore? With so many random wrestling thoughts. Who's excited for WrestleMania? I am. I'm so excited. I've distracted myself by creating a kid's book. That's how excited I am. This is factually WrestleMania Eve. How much does that not freaking feel like it? But this is where we are. LSW says, Days, you are the next Dr. Zeus. Yes. Yes. Nakamura in the corner. Sami Zayn has got tooth pain and needs to see the dentist. Hey, Britt Baker. I've got a problem with my tooth, said Sami Zayn, who had tooth pain. Oh my God, has anyone got... I've got a pen. Has anyone got paper? I've got paper. Right, let's get these down, because I don't want to forget these. Nakamura in the corner. Sami Zayn with tooth pain. There we go. Cameo Britt Baker, who, I don't know if you've heard, is a dentist. She is a dentist. She does dentist things. Dentist tree. Take my money for Nakamura in the corner, says Sean. It's coming, dude. I'm writing it. Forget this. Forget this weekend. Forget WrestleMania. We got Sami Zayn with tooth pain. We got Nakamura in the corner. All because he's a little bit shy. Needs to be coaxed out with some chants of Kinshasa. Best person to do that would be Corey Graves. He loves shouting that out, doesn't it? Kinshasa! Perhaps he's missing him. Perhaps Nakamura's missing Corey Graves. Self-isolating life. Did you see Corey Graves and Carmella doing the koala challenge? They did it as well. Fair play. It's where she starts on his back. She, comes round to the front. She gave him a little kiss at that point. So she gave him a little kiss. Then she goes over his shoulder, down his back, all without touching the floor, under his legs. She didn't do anything at that point. But she came under the legs, came round, and then back to the front again. And that's what you do. You have to kind of do a 360 around the body without touching the floor. Me and Mama Days were practicing it earlier, but not quite there yet. I mean, in all fairness, that is content. That is what people want. If I was to put a video up of me and Mama Days doing the koala challenge, it would freaking break the internet and my back. But that's what I'm going to be working on. Do you suddenly have the secret recipe to beat John Cena? I do! This was from last Friday. Ramblin' Rabbit gets blended. Breaks my heart to hear all those no's. Days, you are a creative legend. P.S. The bookstore is Barnes and Noble. Thank you, my friend. We don't have Barnes and Noble. Oh, I fell into this trap before where I said we don't have, and it turns out we've got 10 of some stuck in a field somewhere. So there could be a Barnes and Noble in London, maybe one in Manchester. But do you know what I mean? You're not going to shopping centres and tripping over Barnes and Nobles. Let me in. Let me in. John Cena sucks. No idea what he says. I've never known what he said. I don't want to know what he says. This is Smackdown on Fox. Smackdown on a Fox. I'm all about the animals. John Cena sucks. John Cena sucks. He's actually alright. I don't mind him. 1 month ago, WWE announced that it would continue its performances. And it's done that. In front of... No. This is very emotional, John. Don't make me cry. Here we go. What's really going to happen? It has been a learning curve, John, yes. I love how John Cena talks as if he is the man that's doing all this behind the scenes. It's been a learning curve, guys. We've really learned a lot about this. Shut up. It's not a learning curve. You're off in Hollywood. He's like super positive on Twitter, isn't he? I think he is that person now.
Starting tomorrow night on the WWE Network, an epic broadcast
An
which will be
epic, most viewed.
most talked about
Will it, John?
in WWE history.
Will it, John? How do you know this?
Because for the first time ever,
Yeah.
no one really knows
No one knows.
what's going to happen.
That's true. Not even Vince.
I myself have been challenged to a Firefly Funhouse match.
Yes. You have, John.
Not get a single human being to tell me anything that a Firefly Funhouse match is.
It's a good point.
Bray Wyatt himself knows what a Firefly Funhouse match is.
Are you going to accept?
I know that's exactly what the Fiend wants.
That's what the Fiend wants. So don't give it him. Say no. Say no, John.
Uncertainty.
He wants uncertainty.
Because uncertainty can lead to fear.
Don't like fear. Not a fan of fear.
Panic can lead to collapse.
Fear leads to panic. Panic leads to collapse.
Thrives
And
off of uncertainty. The Fiend has dominated the WWE landscape with
it's a good promo from John. He is a good promo. He's always been a good promo.
panic.
Just don't like how he talks for the company. That's the only thing that bugs me sometimes. This has been a challenge for us. John, we haven't seen you in months. This has been a big learning curve, guys. A real big learning curve. I've learned so much about myself from this whole experience.
I'm here tonight to tell you what happens next.
Oh, tell me, John.
I will not panic.
He's not going to panic. Because that will lead to fear. And that will lead to collapse.
I will squash Bray Wyatt.
Oh, he's going to squash.
6 years ago.
I could go for some squash.
I don't care if it's a fun house, if it's a Run's house, or if it's a Stone Cold Stun house.
A Stone Cold Stun House?
Not even on the level below me.
Wow. Bray is not even on the level below me.
Who knows what's in here and knows what's I'm capable of. Realize
Find out what's below me with Naomi.
Mr. Rogers doesn't stand a chance.
Mr. Rogers, yeah, let's get him in this match as well. Mr. Rogers doesn't stand a chance. You can't see me, Mr. Rogers. I'm in your neighborhood.
Khalifa and the WB Frog, please. Goldberg exposed that the Fiend has weakness.
Goldberg.
I expose the Fiend as an embarrassment.
John Cena says he's going to expose the Fiend as an embarrassment. Tell you what, there's going to be some Fiend fans that aren't going to be happy here. John Cena spitting.
He has tried to give himself every advantage. He has asked for
It's a good promo.
on his
This is exactly what Cena should be doing.
and he is still gonna get his ass kicked.
Still gonna get his ass kicked. Good promo. Really good promo.
Bray Wyatt, as far as your ridiculous challenge at WrestleMania,
I do hope that there's many WWE superstars taking notes. John Cena then. Rambling Rabbit is there! Wow! Huskus! Huskus is there! Mercy! Forever. And Abby, they just keep saying the word forever. Uh-oh. He's here. Ooh, John. I'm worried for you, John. You can't see him, can you, John? All the lights have gone out. Red light comes on, and is the Fiend on the platform? He is. Man, how great is that shot? How great is that shot? John Cena says that Goldberg had exposed that the Fiend had weakness. John is going to expose the Fiend as an embarrassment. Oh! Funhouse Bray from behind. Let me in. Cena was staring at the Fiend. And then from behind, Funhouse Bray says, let me in. Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. Now, that does pose the obvious question, how is he able to do that? Was he even there? Are we seeing something that John Cena... I mean, like, John Cena jumped forward, but when he looked around, there was no Funhouse Bray. So, was Funhouse Bray in the ring? Was Funhouse Bray even there? John Cena couldn't see him when he turned around. So, I don't know, mind games. That's what we've seen. Mind games from The Fiend and from Funhouse Bray. I definitely, let me be clear on this, do not want, no way do I want The Fiend to have the ability to be in the same space at the same time as Funhouse Bray, because they occupy the same vessel. They occupy the same body, the body of Wyndham. So I really hope this is thought through. I really hope they know what they're doing. They surely saw the backlash that Matt Hardy had with the whole teleportation thing. So I'm kind of hoping that they don't go down those roads. But cool segment. Anytime the puppets are going to be out of the Funhouse, like a puppet day out is going to be a good segment. So starting it off with the puppets was cool. Fiend looked like $1 million standing on that platform, the way it was lit. My only element of concern is Funhouse Bray appearing at the end, because how was that possible? That's my only concern. But was he even there, as we said? Cena just looked around and he wasn't there. I can't wait for that match. I can't wait for that match. I do have concerns, but I can't wait for the match. That was cool. It was cool. I said it was cool. Days, did you just see what I saw? I don't know what you saw. That was amazing. I hope they make the Firefly Funhouse match like that segment. Let me repeat. Let's not get lost in translation. Cool segment. I don't want weird stuff that's gonna involve supernatural and things like this. That for me is too far. Like, what I like about The Fiend, and this is a good conversation to have, I like the fact that Bray is broken. I like the fact that he got beaten down because of how he looked. Huskus wasn't good enough, Husky Harris, and he got told he was too fat and he was out of shape, and that's where the Huskus has come from, and Devil Vince, because of that conversation that was had. So I like the fact he was broken down there. I like the fact that, he wasn't really given the opportunities that he should have got. He lost to Cena at WrestleMania, and really he should have beaten Cena at WrestleMania. So he lost there. He lost to Undertaker. He should have won that match. The streak was already over by that point. So there's another match that he should have won. Wyatt family were used okay, but I think we can all say that he was someone that we all saw as the next Undertaker, and he was just never given that kind of a push. You know, he had one title run, and it wasn't for that long, and he lost it at WrestleMania 33 to Randy Orton, and like obviously the compound was burnt down and all of this, and I think the story of Bray Wyatt is one of unfulfilled potential until the Fiend, until the Funhouse. And I love the fact that that frustration was his darkness, and that is the Fiend. The Fiend is Bray's darkness, but it still lives within Bray. You know those moments where you can just freak out and you can just lose it. You just scream your head off and you're out of control. That's the Fiend. So I like the fact that it lives within Bray and all this kind of stuff. I do start to worry when I see things like that, where you've got the Fiend on the platform, you got Funhouse Bray in the ring. They should be the same. They're not two separate people. They are the same person. So how was that possible? Unless that wasn't Bray as the Fiend. Unless that is the beginning of the Cult of Wyndham. Unless that is a completely different person, but it didn't look like a different person. It looked like Bray's body, Bray's size. Everything looked like it was Bray. I think I'd like to go with the thought that Funhouse Bray wasn't in the ring. I think I'd be leaning that way. Because if things are going to start getting all supernatural, I think this is going to be genuinely, I think it's going to be a struggle for people. And I think you saw that with the Matt Hardy teleportation thing. You saw the backlash on that, and it got to the point where AEW came out and went, teleportation? No. This is how he did it. And they had to kind of do a bit of a U-turn on it, because there's people that can go with it. But there's people that struggle, and I'm just being honest, I would struggle. Even with a character that I love, like The Fiend, don't get me wrong, I'm on board. Yeah, I'm not saying, oh, what have they done? They've just ruined The Fiend. That's not what I'm saying. Please don't hear things that I'm not saying. I'm just saying that if they do go down that road, I was critical of Matt Hardy teleporting. I would be exactly the same with The Fiend. When it comes to something like Lucha Underground, this is a really interesting conversation, because with Lucha, I have heard people saying, oh, you would hate Lucha Underground then. I don't think I would, because Lucha Underground is a completely different show. If they want to present a different universe with different rules, and people can live by these different rules, then I'm on board. Do you know what I mean? I can get on board with that. If you're going to tell me that people have superpowers in Lucha Underground, like there's someone that can jump high, there's someone that can go invisible. I've not watched enough, so I don't know if this is what happens. But I understand that there's a bit more of a mythology to Lucha Underground. And honestly, if that's the story that they're telling, and the characters have different abilities, and what happens when the guy that can turn invisible takes on the guy that can jump high, then in my mind, that's just like a real life Street Fighter. And I love Street Fighter, so I can get on board with that. But WWE and AEW is meant to be set in our world. It's our world, our rules, our gravity, our understanding of physics. So if you're going to start getting all weird like that, then do you know what I mean? We might need to start calling in the ghost hunters. We might have to start calling in people like Derek Akora, or whoever your ghost hunters are in America or Canada or wherever you are. But take nothing away from it. The way it was done very well, because it left you guessing, was Funhouse Bray even in the ring? Maybe he wasn't. I think, do you know what? I think that there's going to be a lot of those kind of points to talk about from the Funhouse match this weekend at WrestleMania. I'm really looking forward to seeing that match, seeing how it's presented, seeing kind of how far they go with it. I really hope they still do what they've done there and still present it with this air of mystery. But yeah, let's wait and see. I thought it was done really well, and it was really cool seeing the puppets in the Performance Center as well. One popping up like in a different part, and Cena having to look around. And then you got Rambling Rabbit going, uh-oh, he's here. Like, that is absolutely something you do not want to hear. Rambling Rabbit going, uh-oh, Spaghetti-O, he's here. So, yeah, it was done well. It was done well. Gaming in real time. Days, does that mean break and teleport? Look, can I just tell you, I haven't even looked at the chat yet. And what I've already got is one super chat from Gaming in Real Time saying, Days, does this mean break and teleport? Sad face. It's the very first comment I've seen. Now, I know there's going to be people with different opinions, and this is absolutely not a conversation I'm looking to have right now. I just want to get the scores, have a think about what we've seen, probably drop a video on it, but it was interesting. Very interesting. People will be a little split. I think they left that seed of doubt, though, which was clever to do that. Clever to do that. Get your scores in. Get your scores. I want to see your scores. Get your scores. Get your scores in. Get your scores in. Wrestling Escape Pod is coming up. That final segment. People asking me to score that final segment. I would give it a 7.75, something like that. I think there was elements I really enjoyed. I think there's elements that are a touch of a concern, but let's see. Let's wait and see. I think this show... Oh, the glitch was brilliant. The end bit was brilliant. The Daniel Bryan Nakamura match was all right. The triple threat women's match was okay. Even the replay of Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, do you know what I mean? If I'm going to be forced to watch a match, it's not a bad one to be forced to watch. I think like 775 might be fair again, you know. 775. 775, which actually is quite high, all things considering. Considering there's no crowd, I wouldn't want to go higher than that. I think that's very, very fair. I think that's very, very fair. Because we did get a replay of a match that we've all seen. It didn't need to be on this show, but there we go. I think as well, you know, opening segment was okay. The women's match was okay. There was just a lot of okay. Just a lot of stuff that, I mean, the triple threat, it didn't matter. I thought Sasha looked a bit silly with Tamina. Obviously, I've voiced my slight concern about that Fiend segment. But it was still great. 8.5 says Rusty. That's fair. Actually, do you know what? I promise you, I haven't even looked at the chat scores. I genuinely don't know what you guys have been saying. But reading them, 7.5, 9.75, 8, 7, 7, 10, 6.75, 8, 9, 8, 7. So I think you can see it's around like the 7, 8, couple of 9s in there. But I think between 7 and 8 is kind of where we are. So I think my 7.75 is maybe in line with what the community were saying. But yes, get your scores in. We are going to jump off in a second because the Wrestling Escape Pod starts. This is... I mean, look, I explain in the video what it is, and I'm really excited about it. So I would urge that you join us over there because I will happily talk to you guys in the chat over there about whatever you want to talk about. If you want to talk about what we've just seen, jump over there. I will gladly be over there talking to you guys about that. I can tell you that Wrestling Escape Pod is going to run for around about an hour, so it's going to give us a nice chunk of time as well for us as a community to keep on talking. I really hope you enjoy it. What I would like to just say about the Wrestling Escape Pod is that it is a bit different in the fact that it's not as interactive, but I want feedback. I don't just want feedback. I'm begging for it. So best place to put it would be in the comments section of that video. If you put it in the chat, I mean, I will obviously go back and read what everyone says in the chat, and I'll try and jot down people's thoughts, but it's going to be easier for me to find your thoughts in the comments section over there. I am just putting links to it, so we are going to be wrapping up here very, very soon. I am going to stick around for another couple of minutes just to read any more little goodbyes or any more thoughts or anything along those lines. But yes, we are going to be going over to the Wrestling Escape Pod. If you want to jump over there now, you're not going to be missing out on a great deal here. And as I said, I have got links in the chat for you right now so that you can just click on them and go straight over there. I will be over there, as I said, talking about anything that you want to talk about. If you want, don't think that I expect you all to sit there just listening to everything that's being said on the Wrestling Escape Pod. I mean, it'd be nice if you did, but it's not a problem. There's lots of stuff for us to be talking about as a result of what's said in that video. But yeah, I am fully aware that it's WrestleMania 36 tomorrow. I am fully aware of that fact. So I know that people are going to want to be talking about what we've just seen and the glitch and WrestleMania 36 and all of this kind of stuff. They might want to be talking about the Kyle Scarborough interview that the insiders have got coming up. So I know people will want to be talking about that as well. I'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. We can come up with more kids' books ideas if you want. I don't care. The puppets should have shown John Cena how to find the Funhouse. That's interesting. The puppets should have shown John Cena how to find the Funhouse. Looking forward to this weekend, says DJ B Tazzy. Yeah, same here. We are back tomorrow for WrestleMania. I don't know if there's any videos before. To be honest, my focus is to go over to the Wrestling Escape Pod. As I said, it's on for the hour. I will be in the chat. I will be talking about whatever you want to talk about. And then after that, I'm going to bed. Honestly, I'm going to bed because I want to make sure I get enough rest for tomorrow. So if you want the links, I keep dropping them in the chat to make it as easy for you. Please feel free to leave and go over there now because, yes, we are shutting this down. We are shutting this down. But in all fairness, we've been shutting this down since 2016. We are shutting this down. So, yeah, right. Oh, you can tell I've had 3 hours sleep, can't you? I think this stream very much shows what I'm like when I've had 3 hours sleep. Since yesterday's WrestleMania 17 thing, I managed to get 3 hours sleep. But right, it's starting. Make sure that you go over to the Wrestling Escape Pod. I'd love to see as many of you over there as possible, and I'd love to see as many of you over there as possible, just to get your feedback. If you don't like it, let me know. I genuinely want that feedback. So give it a try, give it a go, give it a bash. Search Wrestling Escape Pod, or for one last time, I will just drop it in the chat before I say fare thee well. Let me paste it in. Boom, done. There's the link. I hope it's the right link. I might have been sending you to, like, I don't know, some women's clothes shop or something. I haven't got a clue. Right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had a nice time, even if the show wasn't that bad, actually. It was all right. It's an all right show. Fingers crossed for WrestleMania tomorrow. We are live 5 Eastern, 10 at night in the UK. We might even start a bit earlier if you're free, at like 4:30ish. Probably best to jump on because as soon as I'm up and I'm good and I got my drinks and things, we're starting. It's 5 at the latest that we're starting. Don't think I'm starting at 5:02 because I'm not. So I will see you tomorrow. Awesome, guys. Enjoy the Wrestling Escape Pod. I'll speak to you in the chat. And I'll see you tomorrow for WrestleMania 36.